All right, well, I am hearing that our runners are ready. I hope y'all are hype. I hope y'all bring the hype for CC and Insomnia with this Hollow Knight 107% race.
All right, thank you. I am Insomnia or May, and I'm going to be racing Constructive Cynicism or CC. It should be pretty good. We will get underway shortly, but first, our commentators will be Nebula and Sly.
Hey, I'm Sly.
Yep. And I'm Nebula. Hello.
Cool. If host is ready, we'll get underway shortly.
Yeah, absolutely. Would you like a countdown?
Would love one.
All right, I'm gonna count down from 3. I'm seeing some menuing happening.
Yeah. Just game mode select up. Yep.
All right, we're all set?
Yep.
3, 2, 1, go.
I remembered to put the game in Chinese this time.
Oh, that's improvement.
Yeah, I was doing practice this morning and I'm like, damn, I'm like 5 seconds slow here. But it was because it was Chinese dialogue. Sorry, English dialogue. Which I guess is a great segue actually. So we're going to be running the game in simplified Chinese just because there's fewer characters and it scrolls quicker. So it saves like a decent amount of time over the run. For 1xx, it's probably like 1:20.
Yeah, I believe in one of the shorter categories, which is any percent, it saves around 25 seconds in the run, and this category is like 7 times longer than that, 6 times. There's a lot of time saved to be had with the game in Chinese.
Starting out in King's Pass. This is where every single Hollow Knight run starts, and where a lot of them go to end as well. Where we all are chronic resetters. You know, one little mistake.
Of course, I would never do that myself.
Yeah, but I mean, both runners had a pretty clean King's Pass. We're getting through it.
So the category we're running today is 1 in 7, 107%, which might sound a little odd if you're normally, or if you're used to playing, you know, every other game, but 107% is because the DLC added to the game after its release, it counts for that total percentage. There are 4 patches after the game, really 4 main patches after the game, 3 of them added content, I believe.
Yeah, and some of them added percent, and there's like max percent on other patches is 106 or 100% on like the original, of course. But on this, they're on 1.3. The max percent was 107%, in fact, and then so we actually it's a little bit unrelated because we run this on latest patch, which is 1.5, but.
Here you'll see a trick called Aspid Spike, which both of the runners hit. Essentially, you knock a spike into the Aspids, killing them both. It's a pretty cool trick.
It's pretty difficult. It actually takes like a lot of time. Just everyone that starts out speedrunning, it takes a lot longer than you think it would to get good at that trick.
Yeah, I mean,
it's kind of the first trick.
Sorry, on this patch it's consistent, but on this patch it's easy, but it become like they added in Aspid RNG because there wasn't enough gambling in the run.
Me personally, I prefer all my games with gambling.
Nebula is a gambler.
Alright, right now we're heading to the first...
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. Oh, I was gonna say, right now we're just heading to the first boss, which is False Knight. He's a pretty big pushover, but we do need to kill him for a percentage, and we use him to enter the, or we use him for the item that he drops, which is useful in a bit.
I was gonna say we had some questions in the chat about the 107%. Y'all want to talk about where that 7% comes from?
So 6% of it is from the Grim Troop DLC, I'm not exactly sure which 6%. Or sorry, 6% isn't from that specifically, but on the 1221 patches, which is an older patch, 106 was the max, and then 107 was an additional boss, which is called Hive Knight. So that's the 7th, and then the next for the 112, which is the complete percent, are the Pantheons. I could pull up a list, but I'm not too sure.
And God Tuner.
Yeah, so God Tuner and 4 Pantheons are the 5% missing. And then on the Grim Troop patch, they added a couple percent from bosses and a bunch of percent from new charms.
Right, the charms.
Sprint
Yeah,
Master.
so they
Yeah,
added Dream Shield, Weaver Song, I think Sprint Master, and
Yep. And I think Heavy Blow or something silly like
Yeah.
that.
And Banishment as well, which is Nightmare King Grim is a percent as well.
yeah, as well as Grim Child. So
Yeah.
Yeah, but it basically just goes over 100 because of the DLC.
Thank you, and now we know.
Yeah, now both runners are out of the first split, grabbing the first power up, the Fireball, Vengeful Spirit, and we're headed into Ancestral Mound.
Yep.
Which is the game's like little tutorial to show you to use Vengeful Spirit. It tells you to use it right there at the start, but we just we just kind of jump over that and nail it. It's a little faster to not use it until the end. So
Right, new Baldur's Fit Reki coming up.
yeah, coming up here we have a classic. It's a 50-50 to get a Baldur Spit. The Baldur either spits like a fireball or a child, and you need to get a child to continue the run. And it's a 50-50 to get a child or not. They both get a first spit. That's what we like to see. Right here.
On CC's screen, we'll see a Soul Catcher early control, which is essentially just having the Baldur hit you as you pick up the charm, which skips the soul animation for the first charm that you pick up.
And
It only
saves a
works
couple
on the
seconds.
first charm that you pick up, so it saves about 2 seconds, maybe a little
yeah,
less.
it only saves a second and a half because the setup is so long.
Yeah, May not going for it. All right, 1.5 seconds in my 3.5
If
hour
I lose by
category.
1.5
Not too bad.
now, we know why.
Yeah,
Well,
that is
should
actually
write
the
it
reason
down.
right there. That was the difference maker in the end. So
Going
we
up
get
to the
there's
second
another
Baldur.
Baldur. Yeah.
On
Oh,
on
wow.
the other main patch, which is 1221, which is the Grim Troop DLC, it's an older patch. A lot of other categories are ran on that. Some
Nice
different
fireball
stuff.
skip.
Yeah, good fireball skip from May. You can kill that guy with only one fireball, but they patched that out on this patch, which simply introduces more RNG. And that brings
We
us
love
to
more
Green
RNG.
Path.
Both runners got a first spit there again, so you didn't even get to see the RNG in play.
We're
Yeah,
stealing all
it's
the
a
first
good
bits.
thing.
Perfect
It
Baldur.
could definitely get out of control with 2 RNG checks so early on.
Exactly.
Typically a little inconsequential in the grand scheme of things in such a long category like this, though. Both runners hitting the
runners.
fireball skip,
Oh yes.
which normally the game intends you to have dash at that point, but with some well-timed fireballs, you can actually close the gap, and we'll see it again up here in this room.
Yeah, fireball pushes you back a tiny bit, so
Ooh, both runners missing it actually, but there is a backup luckily, so it's not too bad.
yeah. So since fireball pushes
Both
you like a
of them
tiny bit
hitting the
back, you
backup.
just jump and turn around at like the peak of your jump, and you get pushed back a tiny bit. You go a little bit farther than what a full jump could make. So
They also made that fireball skip harder on this patch.
oh yeah.
Yeah, the jump timing is a little more strict. You have to jump later.
There's no
Oh,
soul totem to
little
get
more
extra
precise.
soul as well. So
It's actually
It's,
harder, I'm not just coping.
Yeah, they moved the
So good.
platform.
I'm so glad.
So up here, we're gonna be killing Vengefly King, which I'm not sure if it's a percent, but it is required because we need to save Zote, which is that guy right there. He is
Nice.
not a very nice guy, but we have to save him regardless.
This
For later.
category is all bosses, so we're required to do Great Prince Zote, which is the optional boss that isn't a percent. And to do that boss, you have to save Zote.
Yeah, so that is the other requirement of this category that is not necessarily a percent, but it is just kind of for fun, essentially. We do all the bosses in this category. In other longer categories like 112%, which is max percent, they also have to do all the bosses, but they can fight them in the Pantheons, which is essentially a boss rush mode. So they can skip some bosses in the normal overworld. This category has to kill all of them. So there are minor differences in the route, despite them being very similar.
Yeah. Both runners are here approaching Hornet. Another slight RNG check. We hope that she gives the good attacks, because you just want to use your nail to get a lot of soul and use a lot of fireballs on her. The fireball does, I think it's 3 times nail damage here, right?
Yep.
So.
Yep. And it can double, which is another mechanic to point out. Spells do a lot of damage early game, and we're not going to quite see the effects of that right now, but later on it'll be a huge theme in the first like hour of this category or more.
Yeah. Pretty much every boss is only fought with spells. The only time we use our nail is to get soul for the spells.
Yeah.
Until you get to very late game when our nail does a lot of damage.
A lot of things wouldn't even be that much slower if nail did 0 damage, just because of how big spells are.
Exactly.
Another thing to mention is the quit outs that both runners did. So quitting out doesn't lose you anything, it just puts you back at the last bench that you sat at, so it's a really good way of fast traveling in this game. It'll be seen a lot throughout the run, and that was the first one, I believe.
There's going to be a bit of a route difference here as well.
Oh, true. So yeah, May is going to go for the bench at Leg Eater, because she will warp back to that. CC will be going to a slightly different, slightly more optimal bench, which saves like a second. Not too consequential.
The
But
bench
those are
just
the
has
Shimo
really
ogres.
hard movement. So that's why it's not done, typically.
Yes.
Oh, don't know why I
Yeah,
thought I had
in
Dash
general.
Master. Got ahead of myself.
In general, some safer strats could be preferred, some more difficult strats could be deemed worth it, could not.
It's the
In
nature
general, a
of
long category like
speedrunning.
this, yeah.
I just do it because it's fun.
Yeah, exactly.
Fair. Completely fair.
That's the real goal, is just have fun with
Oh
our
my
speedrun.
God. I have
So
forgotten
this
what
is
pogo I'm
explosion
doing.
pogo. Yep. So
Oh, wow.
May hits so they both hit explosion pogo, which is probably the biggest sequence break early on. I guess the fireball is also.
The
for
Hornet skips more.
Well, either way, a huge sequence break. It saves about 40 seconds, I believe, than going around, which you would have to do normally. Picking up Claw here, which is the game's wall jump.
Yeah, wow, Rivers have already done so much regression. Now that we're out of, well, we head towards the right after Claw, which is where we should have been heading in from the original place. But obviously we did the explosion pogo to enter from above. Both runners have to go and grab a charm down here at the bottom of Fungal Wastes. And
Here we'll see
save.
CC taking the bench, which
Oh, yeah.
May will not because she took the bench earlier. And grabbing Dash Master, which is a relatively new addition to the category. Not super new, but for a long time they grabbed it much later because this detour loses a lot of time. But having it really early on means you can dash way earlier.
What am I doing?
Yeah, I tried this route a while ago. It's only a few seconds faster, but it's really funny because a lot of casual players would see speedruns and be like, why don't you pick up this charm? And it used to be just slower, but there's a lot of route changes that allowed this route to be possible.
Yeah. You're ready to
Yeah,
see
both
the
runners putting
different
out.
movement. The different
Yep.
movement is in play right here.
Yep. They're both heading towards the same place, but from a different bench. They're both going to the city gate to enter the City of Tears, which is the game's main, arguably, area. Probably one of the biggest areas.
Yeah, definitely a very large area and a place where you have to do a lot of, where there's a lot of progression there, and also where you go and upgrade your nail, and there's a lot of things you do in that area.
Yeah, you'll be seeing that area quite a lot.
It's definitely where the game
May-
opens up casually.
Yeah, exactly.
May killing the Shroom Ogres now, as opposed to before, because she had the bench. Okay, and CC reached City Gate, so he will now be going into City.
Sorry to cut you off. That movement is always so fun to watch, that going up around the spikes to enter the city. Good to see both runners doing it. The first couple rooms of city is also very fun because you get to use Dash Masters. Dash Master gives you a down dash. And that is, it's like a little bit faster in a couple places, but it's kind of like a little bit niche and saves just not like too much time, but it makes it looks very cool.
Yeah,
That
as
is
a
upside.
casual, even as a runner, you're like, I hate this thing. It makes you dash down when you don't want to, but once you get a hold of it, it's a good tool to have and very fun to use.
Also much nicer on this patch because diagonal inputs don't give you a down dash like they used to.
Yeah.
Yeah, on the other patch, 1221 mentioned before, if you're holding down at all, it'll make you go down, which is really annoying because holding down for like downwards nail swings is like so important. And then being able to dash after that, it makes it much more precise and much more difficult to use, but we don't have to worry about that on this patch.
It's especially noticeable on a controller.
Oh yeah.
That's what they get for playing on controller.
Keyboard is, I think keyboard and controller are are both equally popular in speedrunning, but controller definitely reigns supreme casually.
Yeah, it's
On
definitely
old patches
been
of
a-
the game, oh sorry, on old patches of the game, it literally tells you that a controller is recommended.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little crazy looking back on it because I feel like keyboard's so good. Yeah, CC is now entering is now in Soul Sanctum. May will be reaching it soon.
One of the
Soul
game's
Sanctum,
horrible places.
really great area with a lot of
like
fair.
spawned in front of you, and you have to fight this little mini boss that gives you a lot of. That is also RNG. It's a lot of rolling the dice and dang it, like everything.
I feel like you've just defined Hollow Knight.
Let's go get him.
Yeah,
Aw, dang it.
on CC's screen right now, he'll be entering what we refer to as Hell Room because of how many guys could just spawn in your face and kill you. May is also in the first room, which is not exactly a very fun room either.
Oh my goodness,
CC
there's
getting
just
through it,
so many guys. What very skilled movement can get you through this movement like CC just did there.
Ah,
Well, speaking of so
Dang
many
it.
guys, could you all tell us about the incentive that we have going for this run right now that we're trying to meet before the end of the run, the Path of Pain? Can we learn a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so Path of Pain is just, it's an area in the White Palace, which is the game's major platforming section. The game's like full of platforming, but that's like the platforming section that's pretty hard, and Path of Pain is an additional area where it's just much harder than the rest of the game in terms of platforming. And it's not actually required to beat the game at all. It's not a percent or anything. It's just there for a challenge. So, yeah, it's a really
It's very
fun
challenging.
challenge, but it's a fun challenge, but not required. It's just, that's why it's kind of an incentive, really. It's really fun to watch runners that have practiced so much of the game.
It's funny, they didn't even make it an achievement because they thought it would be too hard, and then they added in Godhome like 2 patches later.
So CC also, we're kind of glazing over this, but CC fighting Soulmaster, and May will be entering it right now, which is, he's not too bad. A bit of a pushover again, but also because he's a pretty early game boss. And usually you're fighting him at the end of Soul Sanctum, which, you know, you're going to be taking a lot of health, so you have to do him on really low health.
It's a bit risky because you can do this early before you take 2 damage. But you take 2 damage, so you end up fighting Soulmaster on 1 HP a lot of the time. And that can be a little bit rough, especially because it's a pretty bad death.
Yeah, Soulmaster has one of the longest walk back times in the entire game, I think, for bosses, which is why there's like so many shortcuts.
I truly think CC is one of the only people insane enough to do Soulmaster on 1 HP just every single run like this. Not even wasting a lot of time healing.
CC in the Hollow Knight community, kind of one of the people known for doing some more questionable
things.
but optimal strats.
Imagine
in the name of time
fighting
save.
Soulmaster on 1 health. Better yet, imagine fighting every boss on 1 health. Back to back
True.
at the end of a 3-hour run.
Yeah, there's a charm in the game. Fury of the Fallen, which CC seems to enjoy using a lot. When you're on 1 health, your nail gets much stronger. But obviously you're on 1 health, so not fun. But in the 112 category, you can use that in Pantheons.
The fact I haven't finished a run in years should indicate how difficult it is.
Okay, so we're going to be reaching one of the main route differences between 107 and 112, at least for a lot of the early game, which is this bench right here. 112 doesn't actually grab this bench, but 107 does, because they need to come back to fight a boss later, whereas 112 skips over it.
Yeah, 112 just fights a boss in the Pantheon.
That bench changes so much about the route. It's actually kind of crazy how much one bench changes. It changes the geo, it changes early game. Like in 112, you get Theory early.
No wait, I didn't need that bio. Bugger.
Yeah,
No,
you can't get Crossroad Stag early, which in 112 they do. We're going to be comparing... sometimes we're going to be comparing to 112, which isn't the category we're running, but it's because it's the game's more popular and, like, honestly, it just makes more sense as a category. You know, you get all the things, not most of the things, but this category is really unique. Doing all of the percent means you have to do the Pantheons, which is just like a completely different skill set. So this category is pretty unique in that you don't have to do that, but you can still do what makes like getting everything fun without having it over centralized on Pantheons, really.
CC just grabbed a relic. I think that's the first relic of the run.
There was
We
Raptors, which we...
Oh, yeah.
Raptors and Sanctum.
Oh yeah, Raptors and Sanctum, sorry. But those are, we sell those for a pretty hefty sum of cash later, and that's like one of our main sources of geo, if like not just the main source of geo.
Yeah, there's this neat guy named Lem that you can talk to that will take those off your hands and give you a lot of geo compared to anywhere else in the game, really. There's some chests here and there that give you upwards of like 600 for some bosses, but he'll give you 450 for these things just lying around, or up to 1200 depending on what you find.
It helps out because you can lose your money really easily in this game. So it's kind of a way to have some money stored up and a lot of it really fast.
Yeah, casually they're really good. You might like undervalue them in your first playthrough, but it's kind of insane.
And
CC
obviously in a
just entered-
speedrun... Oh, sorry.
No, you got it.
Yeah, in a speedrun, we don't want to kill a bunch of enemies for money, and we have a lot of stuff we need to buy. So relics are going to be one of our main sources of income.
Yeah.
Another thing to
entered
mention
this
is
area called Crystal Peak. Sorry, and
I was going to mention that May's taking a stag right now, which is the game's other form of fast travel. I just thought that we haven't mentioned that yet. So you can buy these stags and go.
oh my gosh, we got
they
Mender
got a
bug.
Mender bug.
Holy shit! What percent chance is that,
2%.
Nebula?
2%.
Keep gambling.
Yeah, that guy will fix that sign until you kill him, and he only shows up 2% of the time.
Good thing
that's
there's
kind of
not
crazy.
a category dedicated to just gambling on that.
I wonder who has that category.
Some weird.
I wonder who would
person
grind
who has
that.
some would record in that.
Anyways, so back to what Sly was saying earlier.
Yeah. Well, we're in Crystal Peak, which is where we get the Crystal Heart ability, which is what CC is about to acquire. And that is a super dash. It's like if dashing just kept going forever. It's very fast, and it traverses long distances faster than just dashing will.
Yeah.
So and it's also just like a percent, and you need it to go places in this game, but it's a very nice ability to have.
Lots of gaps you need it for, but it's also just good to have.
Oh my god.
Also, something we haven't mentioned that May will be picking up here is a grub. Those little green guys in jars. We need them. You get rewards for collecting them, and they are percents, and they're also just, nice guys that you need to help.
Even if they weren't percents, we would save them.
I mean, they're adorable.
Some people wouldn't.
They give you so much money though. I mean,
They do give you
they
lots of money.
deserve their freedom or something, I don't know.
It's so much fun turning them in.
Exactly.
Yep, they're scattered throughout the entire game, so you'll be seeing them in places. They define, like, a lot of the routing is for picking those guys up, really, among other things.
Yeah, there's
But it's
46
probably one of the
them.
longest.
It's a lot.
Yeah, it's probably one of the longer percents that you will have to get.
Yeah. Other thing that really dictates a lot of the early and mid-game routing, especially mid-game, not so much early game, is the Grim Troop quest. If you want to explain that maybe later on when we get Grimchild.
Yeah.
Yeah, Grimchild.
I'm going to be doing a thing
we like
here.
Grimchild.
Oh yeah. So
CC, go ahead.
we're picking up an ability called Descending Dark. It's the upgraded version of our dive, but CC just picked it up and got hit out of the getting picked up animation, which means he can leave early, saves a lot of time. I don't know exact numbers. I think CC might, but it is in the pulp. It's definitely like 20 seconds or like 15 or something. It's a lot of seconds. It's a lot of time.
It's like 5 seconds.
Okay,
Well,
you know what?
For
5,
waiting
20,
for the
same
lore,
thing.
For
Yeah,
Hollow
but
Knight,
you
that's
need
an
to
wait for the
eternity.
guy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's the mental time save.
May picking up the Crystal Heart, and then CC interacting with the game's probably most defining spell, the Dream Nail, which
I don't know, they're all kind of defining.
just from a lore perspective,
Lore.
there's a lot of lore that I don't know, admittedly, but yeah, so he'll be doing the Dream platforms right now, which falling off of puts you in this respawn animation, which takes even more of an eternity. It's like 2 eternities, honestly.
It's worse at the start,
really
because you have
bad.
to wait for her to come back.
Yep.
Yeah.
But anyways, the Dream Nail's used for a lot of things, but most importantly is fighting some bosses and picking up the Dreamers, which is the game's I don't know how to describe it, but you need to get 3 of them.
It's
Pretty
the
much,
main
which I-
progression.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One thing about Dreamnail is that in speedruns, it's also used to collect soul, which isn't really used for that casually.
Yeah, so you need soul to... I didn't really mention that, funnily enough. But yeah, you get soul from hitting things, and you need soul to cast spells and to heal. We might have mentioned that.
You get it's 9 hits of soul in your thing in the top left. And you get 1 hit per nail hit, so 9 fills it up. But if you dream nail something, it's 3. And then we'll also pick up a charm later that makes it so that the dream nail takes like half as long, and it also gives you twice as much soul. It gives you 6 soul. So that charm is really good.
Oh damn, PB missed
Okay.
buggy Swift. You'll have to see it. Time save.
My
May take
PB
up the
also
Dream
missed
Nail
that.
now.
Yeah.
And CC will be dashing over the Blue Lake and going towards the game's probably most distinct charm for speedrunning. We'll be picking up here soon, called Shaman Stone. It makes your spells deal more damage than they already do, which is great for only 220 geo that you can
Makes
get really early
Fireball
on.
big.
Shaman
Makes your
Stone for
fireball very large.
speedrunning is kind of just
This
everything that
character is
casual players
adorable.
think Dashmaster would be.
Yeah. Why dash more when I can kill things faster?
I'm
I
so
mean-
good at this game.
We also saved Sly there, which, not the commentator, the merchant in the game, which,
Exactly.
one of the merchants in the game,
The-
which tells a lot of stuff that we need, some stuff we don't need as well.
that Sly guy is very useful.
We like Sly. Both of them.
How do we all feel about a donation right about now?
Ooh.
Pretty
go
good.
ahead.
We're gonna be entering a quit out pretty soon.
All right, well, Kyrie sent in $25. Says, good luck to both runners, but I have to show my bias. Cheering for May, less than 3.
Let's go.
Wow.
Shoutouts to Kyrie. She has a very bad taste in all skills teacher.
You want to say that puts us up? We are now at less than $250 to meet that $2,000 milestone we are looking for to unlock the Path of Pain. As you mentioned before, is going to be really incredible platforming show. Yeah, it's one of the most difficult sections of
Exactly, yeah.
platforming in the entire thing. If you want to see it, you gotta get those donations in. We gotta hit that milestone by the end of the run. Now, we do have some time, obviously. The estimate on this is 3 hours and 20 minutes. You think we can raise under $250 in about 3 hours, in under 3 hours? You think we can do it?
I reckon.
I believe.
I believe in chat. Please get
I
those
believe you
donations
guys.
in. Remember, they're all going to the Girls Make Games Scholarship Fund. A really, really wonderful cause.
Let's go.
Guys, get your donuts in. I want to see Path of Pain. These guys
I
don't
want to see
do not
CC
practice Path of Pain.
do Path of Pain.
Yeah, Path of Pain, it's fun watching good players do it. It's even more fun watching bad players do it. And they're not bad.
Unfortunately,
However, they don't play it.
unfortunately for me, I am considered a bad player when it comes to Path of Pain.
It's about the only thing though.
Okay,
See,
so
I'm just-
picking up Shade Soul.
I do.
Oh,
I just keep
brutal.
everyone's expectations nice and low, and then when I'm bad at Path of Pain, wait, how was that a 3-second gold for save Sly? What did I forget?
Let's go. Oh
Did you
wait.
forget the charm notch?
No, I think I might have done everything right. Just I normally mess up and like go to Dream Shield or mess up crypts, I guess.
You probably did the diagonal down dash, which is sick.
Oh yeah,
CC
that's
picked up
definitely
Shade
3
Soul.
seconds.
Yeah, CC picked up Shade Soul, which is the upgraded version of the Fireball spell that we got way back in the early game. It's really, really good for the boss that he's about to fight, Soul Tyrant, which is an upgraded form of Soul Master.
Do you want to explain overcharming real quick? because that's what I'm
So-
doing. Oh, goodbye world.
Just a little fall there.
Just a little.
Okay, yeah. So overcharming is this. And we have three. Is it three charm notches at the very start? And
Yep.
we bought a couple or bought one, but we want to put on more than the game will let us. Luckily, the game actually has a mechanic where you can put on more than the game will let you, but you just take double the damage. So it's actually a lot faster for a lot of points in the speedrun to just put on more charms than the game wants you to put on and just take the double damage because we're so fast, it's fine. But this boss is a little spooky to double
Yeah.
to be overcharged.
Sometimes that means we have to do relatively difficult bosses. It's a pretty late game boss with not a lot of equipment. The game expects you to have like nail upgrades. We really only have Shade Soul here and Shaman Stone, which is plenty. But taking double damage is pretty scary in this fight. And for the fight that Mei is doing, although I'm not sure she's overcharmed.
She's
It's
she
normally
values
open.
the marathon
It-
estimate.
Yeah, it's pretty optional throughout the entire run, and especially in a marathon setting, you could just opt to not do it. However, CC, you know, very much vouches for optimal things. We'll be doing the optimal thing most of the time.
It's more about I'm too lazy to think about, oh, it's a marathon. I shouldn't do this risky strat.
Yeah, fair enough.
There's also
That's
some
solid
overcharms that save more or like actually make segments easier. So there's still a few I do. Notably Green Pass 2, I do a lot of that overcharmed. All of that overcharmed, just because like some
Whoa,
charms
this
are
thing-
totally
Whoa.
worth double damage.
That sync was crazy.
You guys just went through the same room despite not being at the same part. That's crazy.
Wow, I can't believe CC didn't even die to Soul Tyrant for me.
I know. Don't worry, the White Palace, that's gonna happen.
I just
Are you gonna
need
be
to
doing
die to
waterways
God Tamer.
overcharmed?
Oh yeah, of course. I'm doing everything overturned.
Alright, so we're selling to Lem right now on CC's screen, which is the merchant we mentioned before. You'll see his geo rising drastically, and Mei will be entering Soul Tyrant. Luckily the game gives you your health back, so you can enter on low HP and you'll be full health. It doesn't give you full soul though, so you need to be prepared for that.
Yeah, CC's in Royal
What?
Waterways. Stinky down there.
Yep, Royal Waterways, pretty cursed area. We don't like it. We definitely don't like it overcharmed, but it does save quite a bit.
I don't think anyone particularly likes this area. I've never heard anyone be a big Royal Waterways fan. The sounds that it makes, it's gross and
It's extra creepy.
yeah.
Dashless is
Yeah.
particularly bad because the enemies
Oh.
run faster than your walk speed.
And then
It's great.
And then a pretty awesome boss that he'll be fighting, Flukmarm, which I will not elaborate on why it's a meme. However,
It is a
it
meme.
can get really out of hand really fast. It could also just die. May having a pretty good fight right now as well. Damageless so far on phase 2. And
And
getting a
grounded
grounded spawn
spawn.
is actually very nice because you can dive him when he's in the
Nice
air.
fight.
It is really annoying. And yeah, a hitless fight from Mei.
Round of
That's actually
applause,
really
that was
good,
a
yeah.
fight.
How much is the absorb? Like 10 seconds?
I'm not
Yeah.
actually sure.
It
Pretty
is
sure it's something like
slightly
that.
under 10 seconds because that was a goal.
Yeah,
I was actually ahead until Tyrant, but I had a bad one.
yeah, Soul Tyrant, very RNG boss, very cool. He can get out of hand really fast, lose you so much time. He can also give you a really good pattern and save you so much time. So
Phase 2 especially, the aerial spawn's just so much harder to deal with. And just because you can't
Yeah.
dive and like you're in the air, so it's a lot easier for the tracking orbs to just come around and smack you.
CC
It's
about
one
to
of the main
fight.
reasons. Oh, sorry.
Ooh.
You can go ahead.
I was just gonna say, CC about to fight one of the games probably most beloved bosses in like the casual community. There's a lot of people that love this guy. The Dung Defender. Right there.
Yes. He's so good.
He throws balls of poop at you, and it's awesome. And everyone loves it. It's really great. Oh, okay.
Unfortunately, we did pick up Fluke Nest from that Fluke Marm boss earlier, which is probably a charm we need to talk about too, because that charm is absolutely insane. It's pretty akin to Shaman Stone, except for mid-game, where it could just kill so many bosses so fast. It's actually broken on this patch to where it does more damage than it's intended to, because it hits multiple times. Which is why bosses like Dung Defender can just explode.
Yeah, it's very finicky and very specific because the boss has to like leave and re-enter the lingering fluke hitbox. It's really weird.
Yeah, so all that started because they were like trying to like nerf it because it used to be like the best charm in the game, and then they're like, oh, we can't have that be the case, and then they nerfed it, but they bugged it, so it's still the best charm in the game.
Yeah, Team Cherry, an enigma of coding sometimes.
It's been the best charm in the game, like 3 times now for 3 different reasons. It's just been busted different ways, because it used to be busted for like kill duping in glitched categories, and then it was busted just because it did way too much damage, and then it was busted because it multi-hit. Like, you just can't keep Fluke Nest down.
It is...
Release patch was on, like, ironically, the most, like, balanced version of it.
What am I doing?
CC just got a hitless Malarks. That is a rare occurrence.
Yeah,
Sometimes...
most of them, they can get really annoying. Most of them aren't entirely RNG, but some of them definitely are,
the
and they're very annoying.
The few that are tend to just it feels like they're more RNG like inclined to hit you than they aren't, you know, even though it's probably not that way.
Okay. And CC about to fight Broken Vessel, which pretty easy boss, especially for how late a lot of the time you'll be encountering him in the game. He kind of just dies, to be honest. And then there's like a bench and a shortcut pretty close, so you can come back. But he allows us to get the game's double jump. Oh, May going for a... May actually hits it. It's a cool... it's a different version of the quick kill for Dung Defender, which, you know... I mean, May, do you want to elaborate? Pretty cool.
Yeah, so instead of doing a second dive and then getting knocked out of that to regain control on the initial scream, I just do a like specifically timed dash, and Dung Defender has a very like surprisingly narrow hitbox, so it's quite hard to hit. But I've gotten quite good at it because it maybe saves time and is maybe slower, and it's way harder, and it's kind of just worse in every way, but it looks cool, so of course I've chosen to implement it.
Alright, and CC... Cool. It does look cool. CC fighting Lost Skin, which is the upgraded version of Broken Vessel, similar to Soul Tyrant, and now he's the upgraded version of Soul Master. These bosses are percents, and he'll be death warping out of Lost Skin, which saves a lot of time on this patch. If you die after killing the boss, it will still count as it being killed, except it'll skip the boss dying animation, which saves a lot of time on this patch, a little bit of time on older patches, and he will be proceeding to the game's double jump.
Yes, we're gonna pick up Monarch Wings.
Rip Hitless Morlocks.
Oh no, the first Moloch takes another victim.
Oh.
I believe in semi-hitless Molochs.
The cringe one.
It's just the RNG one.
Yeah, the cringe one was cringe as always.
Right, as long as this one's not mean. Oh, that's a little concerning. I'm gonna do that and let the bubble spawn.
And we're seeing the duality of Molochs.
We had exact opposite Molochs on the screen, yeah. One of them
There's one that's just straight gambling, and then I went 1 for 3 on the skill-based ones. Oh god, I forgot you.
Oh, I guess we never really explained, but that crystal dash that they both do at the start of the Broken Vessel fight saves a little bit. I don't know how much it actually is, but it's a
Definitely multiple, or definitely at least like a second or two. Because if you miss
Yeah.
it, you kill those guys at the start, those little orange guys, which you need to spawn the actual boss itself. And then maybe we'll be entering Lost Skin, and you know, it's actually probably it's a pretty hard boss. It doesn't look like it should be hard, but he just kind of jumps around and like runs into you, and it's hard to dodge, man. He just jumps into you. I don't know.
If you
It's pretty
dash at the
gross.
wrong time, his jump will track your dash. So you have to be quite careful with like when you're dashing, and like managing your stagger count's a big thing with the D-Dark fight. Or you waking
Shade
out
Soul
of the
doubles
stagger
go
like
insane.
that.
Just get a
So
triple.
CC entering Failed Champ now though, which is the upgraded version of False Knight. It is a solved fight, found by CC himself.
Oh, but he's getting worse RNG.
That is the
Is it
worst
Taurus?
RNG. However, as you can see, he will always die on that jump there because the fluke hitboxes are hitting him when he jumps in the air and lands back on it. So phase 2 here, we'll see similarly, and then for the third phase as well, hopefully. He just kind of dies.
I'm
I'm
so
not getting-
bad at that pattern.
Ooh, that rock was a little spooky, but we're back.
It
We're
may
not
beating
over yet.
May beating Lost Skin and CC beating Failed Champion. It's a pretty cool fight. Using the solve strats that he found, it makes it so much faster. But
Yeah, that was
even
really
without, he just kind of dies sometimes. Yeah, having to not necessarily memorize all of the trees. Oh, both quitting out at the same time. Having to not, you don't have to memorize everything, but you do have to know what to do when he does and react. So, you know, it can be a little hard to learn, but the fluke multi-hits just go absolutely insane for that boss. On older patches, they don't even hit him. Yeah. Yeah, he does double damage, which is brutal, but especially casually, like that boss can be really scary. But for speedrunners, we know what's gonna happen, and so he kind of just dies. And so CC acquiring the game's last form of fast travel, which is the Dream Gate. You get after a certain amount of essence, which we haven't really explained yet, but
Oh yeah, this
we'll
game
get
just
there.
has like a lot of currencies. It has Geo, it has Essence, there's a lot of different things. But Essence is like what we've been collecting for the Lost Skin and Failed Champ. Lost Skin gave us 400 Essence and Failed Champ gave us 300, I believe.
Yep, and Soul Tyrant gives us 300 as well. After a certain amount of essence, you get rewards. You need 2,400 in total, which we easily get anyways because we have to do all the bosses. Yeah, Dreamgate essentially lets you fast travel. You put down a little thingy that you could teleport to at a later time. Which probably isn't the best way to explain that, but you know.
One more form of fast travel I might show off later, called the Death Warp, which is definitely intentional.
We may see it.
Fun
So May
fact, the
fighting
mace
false
doesn't have a
failed champ.
hitbox on that pattern.
Yep. If you get
May getting the good first phase as well.
you get the jump into the the other one, then it just doesn't have a hitbox. It's really funny.
Seeing some folks in chat worried that CC's mic is muted. Can we hear from CC really quick? Oh no, you're fine. That's it. That's all we needed.
Right? They're getting.
Oh no.
And May getting a good failed champ there too. CC heading towards the Howling Cliffs.
We went back to where we started, back through the King's Pass, towards the Howling Cliffs is the fast way to get there.
How we all feel about a donation?
Yes.
Probably pretty good timing.
All right, Fia sent in $107.
Oh my god.
Says good luck to our runners and yippee path pain. 107 for 107. Thank you so much for your generosity. That pushes us up to less than $150 to unlocking that path of pain. Please keep those donations in. We are coming right along, but we're gonna need to get all the way up to 2K if y'all want to see that platforming demonstration. Please keep those donations coming in.
I hear if you reach 3K, CC said he'd do it one-handed.
Oh, true, actually, yeah.
Yeah. And if he's still having mic issues, he can't protest.
Yeah, true. Oh, that's
CC getting a Dream Nail early control. Oh no. So.
You just had an unfortunate thing occur.
Oh, you can hit him out. Okay. Well, so on this patch, on older patches, you could time a second Dream Nail after you Dream Nail a boss, which normally locks you out, but you previously could just time it. On this patch, you have to get hit out of it, which is what we do to manipulate the Vengefly. If you miss it, you can get locked out of your Dream Nail, though. Yeah. Smile.
This is infamous.
Yep. So right now, CC doing Dark Jonies, which is one of the game's harder dark rooms.
It's just really big, and there's a lot of enemies, and also the enemies, the flying ones, are RNG. So.
Yeah, and a lot of spikes, which for dark rooms, they didn't want players getting lost casually. And so if you dunk in a dark room, it will always put you to the start of the room, which kind of sucks for us.
Getting through on it on 1 health, though, luckily.
They really intended you to have a lantern here, like super.
They don't want you.
I only dunked because you reminded me it was Dark Jonies, and then I panicked.
My bad. Well, we're out of it though, and letting up the Grim Lantern now, which is what we mentioned earlier. This is more progression.
So this will start the Grim Troop quest, which was added in 1.2.21, the second patch for the game, major patch. Hitting the Cyclone, you can light the lantern especially quickly with a well-placed Cyclone wiggling back and forth. That starts the Grim side quest, which you can see in Dirtmouth. It will spawn a tent, which you can go in, pick up Grimchild, and then that'll spawn a bunch of guys that you have to go around and kill, which is a whole thing that takes a long time, and they're very annoying. But you also
have to kill them in a somewhat specific order, and so that changes what order we do things in.
As you progress the side quest.
Another
picking it up now here.
Time and they're very annoying. Like, is my Hollow Knight experience?
Yeah, some of them are definitely worse than others, but
they're actually
in the speedrun.
Yeah, they're actually one of the reasons we don't upgrade our nail, because when we upgrade our nail to do more damage, they get more health, so our spells don't one-shot them. So we would rather just one-shot them with spells than have a good nail.
Yeah, another reason So on May's screen, you'll see Gorb, which they kill in 3 fireballs, which we kind of forgot to mention. But yeah, those Dream Warriors they're pretty weak, and they die to like 3 spells most of the time. And that's because we don't have an upgraded nail. If you upgrade your nail, they take way longer, ironically. Which just goes to show how strong like base spells, or well, Shaman Stone and spells can be.
Exactly. One thing we had happen earlier, or just like a second ago on CC's side, was a random essence drop. So we mentioned earlier that we need all this essence to finish the game. You can just randomly get essence on every enemy that you kill, and it's like I think it's 1 out of 300 or something. Wait, what is it, like 1 out of 200? What is it? I don't remember. It's
1 out of 300.
it's some crazy low number.
We're gonna see the first Grimkin on Sisu's screen now, which is made more annoying by the fact that we have Fluke Nest on, which decreases the range of the fireball. We normally want Shade Soul for these guys, but because we really need Fluke Nest for this area, well, we don't need it, but it's very nice to have. We opt to do it with Fluke Nest instead. Getting a 2 cycle there is not too bad.
Yeah.
I just got a random essence off an enemy jumping into spikes in trees.
Oh yeah, so enemies killing themselves also can just give you random essence, and that's so much fun.
Fighting a Soul Totem now. Don't know how he got there. He just died. That's Crystal Guardian.
That is a boss.
Enraged Guardian, much
Yeah,
scarier. Enraged Guardian, which does 2 HP, and you know, we only have 5 health. There's not a lot of room for error. Luckily, not too bad.
Yeah,
Sometimes it can be a little annoying.
Kind of just explode because we have Fluke Nest. That does a lot of damage.
A very fair charm.
Exactly. We're gonna be
Yeah.
mentioning how Fluke Nest does all the damage a lot. What'd you say?
I was saying we used to not use Fluke Nest here because it's really annoying on the Grimkin. But I timed it to save a lot for the Crystal Guardians. So we take the annoying Grimkin in exchange for really fast Crystal Guardians.
Which, as you can see, pays off. They just die.
Yeah, that was fast.
CC going for a pretty cool
Yeah, you got
strat
that.
where you inventory knockback cancel, which is a thing on later patches. Is it only 1.5?
It's
1.4.
Yeah, 1.3 on, yeah.
Yeah. Well, if you open your inventory, you don't take any knockback, which throughout the run can be used to our advantage sometimes. In Failed Champion, for example, you can just open your inventory, you don't get knocked away, and you can hit him right after. Pretty cool mechanic that isn't used a whole lot, but when it is used, it's really, really nice.
CC's at like the highest point of Hollow Knight right now, the Hollow Knight's crown, but we just leave. It's funny how you C-dash out, and it actually gives you a different transition than if you just fall off. You go farther left by like a couple of rooms, and it is faster to C-dash out in this route. So that's the direction that we're trying to go to.
Yep. So we go all the way up there for a Pale Ore, which is not a percent, but it is an item that you trade for nail upgrades, which are percents.
Yeah, and CC's gonna hit this fun room. This room's always really fun to do.
May reaching the second Grimkin, getting a fireball attack, which is good, and getting the
Nice.
quick kill. Good
Good
Grimkin.
one cycle by May.
Wahoo! I did this in practice once, and I got fireball. Sorry, dash fireball. So glad to actually get the good RNG this time.
We might see a reappearance of the Soul Totem here.
Oh, what the? Where did this boss come from?
Oh my god, I can't count.
Counting is hard.
He drops
Also,
a
I'll
lot
have
of money
you know,
though.
it's not a soul totem, he's a geo rock. He
Yeah,
drops
exactly.
way more
True.
money than soul.
I didn't think about that.
And
CC
he's
fighting
also,
the
you know,
second
a rock.
Grimkin here.
Oh my god, that RNG.
getting a kill, the kill in the Grimkin. That one is probably the most annoying out of the first. It might just be the most difficult out of the first 3. They do get progressively harder and more health as you upgrade Grimchild, but for now we're stuck with those little guys which die really fast, but they're still equally annoying.
We had a good enraged guardian fight by May. I'm gonna head to the crown area, Hollowness crown, for CC 1 to go.
Yeah, entering this area with 5 health feels really good because a lot of the time you will not be 5 health. You will be terrified.
Yeah, 3 in 1 is very common here if you're bad like me.
Yeah,
Or me.
Crystal Peak, really difficult area and very punishing. Usually you're in there for a while with very little free heals.
Whoopsie. Forgot a bench.
That's the spirit.
Little bench forget.
Oh no.
We're just doing a little bench
This
forget.
is for you, Nebula.
The problem with forgetting benches is all the stag names are in Chinese. So
Yeah.
it's hard to know where you're going.
In some categories, there's really easy ones like any percent where it is simply 1 down at every stag. You do not have that luxury in longer categories where you collect everything. Memorizing what stags and what charms to even put on where you're going for what is very difficult and takes a lot of practice. Normally, you could just have a notepad.
Yeah, so my splits tell me which direction I'm supposed to go, but if I go to the wrong stag, I can get confused pretty easily. The other thing is the order of them changes.
Yeah, when you have all of them unlocked, it's a set order, but when you are buying them in game, it's like it's not always going to be the 3rd one or the 4th one because you don't have the 3rd one or the 4th one yet. So it's a really it's when you get
Guess
lost,
I don't
you
want
get
the nail
lost.
art.
Yep, picking up Great Slash here, which nail arts, you might forget you have them if you only played casually. I know I did. They're situationally pretty good, but they are percents, which is why we need them.
We will be using them in Kalos.
Yep, the Colosseums being just a long gauntlet of pretty easy to kill enemies, but it takes forever because of how many waves there are. So we would like to have as many tools as possible when going to them to make them not take as long.
I don't think we mentioned that the Cyclone Slash it uncaps your fall speed while you're falling, so that's why you'll see runners using it while falling down.
Yep.
Yeah.
In older patches of the game, you could open your inventory in midair and it would uncap your fall speed and you fall in a straight line really fast. They took that out, mostly on later patches. So we have to use Cyclone instead, which it's still good on older patches too, mind you. But it's especially good on current patch when you do not have inventory drops as frequently. You still can do them if you open them the frame you fall off of a ledge.
The physics frame, yeah.
Oh yeah, this game is
Which
different
can
between
save a lot of
physics
time.
and graphics frames, the whole thing.
A lot of time you'll see runners retrying them just because, like, if you open your inventory too early, you just stand there, but you, like, retry it because if you miss the first one, you gotta go again.
Keep gambling.
So, May picking up a Vessel Fragment here, which is one of the... so the other things being Mass Shards, where you pick them up in fragments, and once combined, they give you something. They're not percents by themselves, but when combined, they are. There's 9 Vessel Fragments and 16 Mass Shards that we have to pick up throughout
Hold
the
on,
entire
Cece's
map.
gonna fight the hardest boss here. Hold on 1 second.
Oh.
Okay,
Oh.
Phew, we're through it.
That was close.
Yeah,
Good thing
Mm.
Damn,
Really
I
scary
can't compete
overcharge.
with that.
exactly. But well, yeah, once you combine 3 of those Vessel Fragments, you get more like soul capacity. So
Instead of having 9 full soul, or I guess it's not. They actually have diminishing returns. So once your normal soul meter is filled up, you get less soul per hit, but it still lets you have up to 4 casts instead of up to 3,
Yeah, exactly.
which is really useful. You can quit out early from their animation, so preferably we pick them up and then quit out. Sometimes we can't. Sometimes we have to pick them up and then keep going. Depends on how their route is laid out.
Also, the full ones you can't quit out of as early as the fragments. So a lot of the ones that we continue on from will be full ones since you have to wait anyway.
Yeah.
An example of one of these is actually at Fly here, which we won't be getting right now. Or will we? Oh yeah, we
We
do
buy a fragment.
Yeah.
I bought it in the wrong order. Oh.
Yeah, we buy the lantern as well, but it's all
Yeah.
good.
So the lantern is not a percent. However, we need it for no eyes. The game does not let you fight a certain boss without the lantern. So even though we would probably do it in the dark normally, because we can, which would not be nice, we do unfortunately have to buy it. Which is probably a good thing, so we don't have to do the rest of the dark rooms.
Also, just the idea of doing no eyes in the dark sounds awful.
Yeah.
So CC just upgraded Grimchild because he got the 3 little ones, and so we're actually going to be going to King's Pass for a 3rd time this run to finally pick up the charm here that we've been ignoring, but also to fight the Grimkin, which is an upgraded version. May fighting the smaller one. The upgraded ones die in the same amount of casts. Not a lot to say. They just die and you leave.
They all die.
Yeah.
But they're a little bigger.
Fireballs are really good.
And they have an
is
extra attack.
kind of what the moral of the story is.
But they attack?
Do they have an extra attack?
Yeah, they're the like 4 fireball one as well now.
I've never noticed.
Clearly you aren't a rando
Really
player.
excited to see this section because it really kicked my butt.
It kicks mine in runs too.
Hey, I'd like to remind everybody as we're just passing the 1 hour mark for this run, we have a couple of hours left to reach that milestone and unlock the Path of Pain incentive, which, if met, both of our incredible runners will do an amazing platforming showcase known as the Path of Pain. You want to see it? I want to see it. I'm pretty sure you want to see it. Please get those donations in.
You definitely want to do it.
I definitely want to see it.
I mean, I do too, for
So
sure.
CC got the game's last basic spell because there are 3 spells they upgrade to. 2 of the upgrades we've gotten. Howling Wraiths is the upward spell, which pretty good on current patch. Not as good on older patches, but we still like it. And later we'll be using the upgraded version quite a bit. Fighting No Eyes right now, though, we mentioned earlier, she could just be such a menace. She's
And
very
she just
RNG.
teleports a lot.
Very RNG, can teleport away, and getting the Dream Nail early control. If you Dream Nail while falling off a platform, it will slide you off, and so you can actually Dream Nail things midair. And
That
if you dunk into the
also
spikes,
uncaps
you
your
get the
fall
early
speed.
control. Yeah, it looks very silly, but it saves like 5 seconds on the normal animation. Normally we do our best to find early controls. For
That
Dream
split can go so wrong, by the way, if No Eyes just doesn't double. You're overcharmed, you want to take damage. I'd already taken the damage, so I was 3 HP entering. Like, you can die super easily there. Definitely one of the easiest deaths in the run, trying to do optimally.
I just went the wrong way. Insane.
We actually saw both of the runners going to 0. But this boss, typically intended to be the first Dream Warrior you fight. We don't actually collect his essence because we have way more than he needs and it takes a long time. There's no early control for him, so that's the one that we opt to just skip. There's another one later that we skip as well. In another category like 112, you would collect his essence though, because you can skip other bosses.
This is a fun arena that CC's about to do here to collect honestly a kind of a really small reward for how much effort it is.
Drops a lot of money though.
One little vessel fragment, but you know, it's a vessel fragment.
It's a really scary arena casually, but Shade Soul just one-shots everything in it, so...
It's also god awful in rando when you have to do it itemless, because like, with the random starts, that's a really common one.
May fighting the other Grimkin now.
Finally remembered
And
which
CC?
way I'm going.
Yeah, with longer categories, there's so many reroutes and so many different orders you can do things in. It can be really hard to remember what to do when. And a lot of the time, you'll just end up conflating them, thinking, oh, do we do this anymore? Do I not?
Yeah, and you like stag to resting grounds, and then you're meant to immediately stag to dirt mouth, but you're like, oh, resting grounds, yeah, we kill 0 now. But no.
Hollow Knight has very little downtime and a lot of backtracking, so routing's kind of hard.
CC fighting the...
Reassuring. Go ahead.
Oh, CC fighting just another one of the Grimkins in Edge right now, heading towards Hornet 2, which we fought her earlier, but getting the acid skip, which if you dunk in the acid, it replaces you on the platform.
To dunk like far right on the acid.
So it was an intentional damage tank. And heading to Hornet 2 now.
This is one of the scarier bosses. It's definitely one of the most easy to die to.
Yeah, she's... As like a runner, if you're not used to fighting her and only used to fighting the base Hornet, it is a huge upgrade. She's way faster. May getting a good Howling Wraith arena as well. Dude, getting that hit list is really nice. You want to be on full health going into No Eyes.
Yeah, and the addition of the parry and her extra attacks just change how you have to approach the fight a lot as well, and like, you can't abuse her out of staggers as much. It's just a lot.
Yeah, and we have very little equipment relative to a lot of the game, but definitely enough to make it doable.
Also really
She's getting a
solid
pretty
fight.
good fight.
She gave pretty good RNG.
And picking up the King's Brand, which we need to enter the Abyss. May fighting No Eyes.
Oh, No Eyes showing
Getting,
No Eyes is showing exactly what No Eyes can be like.
Yep, so
Really evil.
when No Eyes takes a hit,
Oh, no.
she has a chance to just randomly teleport away. And Grimchild can actually hit her while your fireball is going at her, and she teleports away from your fireball because Grimchild hit it for like no damage. It's
Okay.
really cool,
Thank God.
and something that we really appreciate Grimchild for.
We hate No Eyes so much. Like,
Yeah, as
a
soon
lot.
as you don't get enough hits to kill her with the cast that you go in with, it's so bad.
You need 5 Shade Souls, so one of them has to double hit her, and then the rest have to hit. CC Dream Gating out of Kingdom's Edge, because so Dream Gating is like the best way to avoid the game's what is it? Hard saves.
Hard saves. Yep.
Yes. So that's another huge part of routing for this category. There's a couple hard saves in the game, which, once you interact with something, you cannot bench out of. It will set your bench there. So we would highly prefer to have Dream Gate when we reach those areas, because you can just Dream Gate out when you would normally want to bench out. So Hornet 2 or King's Brand is one. Entering City is one. Soulmaster is one. There's definitely a few.
Funnily enough, I'm still on PB pace because I haven't died yet.
Yep. CC getting Abyss Shriek, which is the game's most powerful spell in one cast. If you hit all the ticks of Shriek, it does 120 damage, I believe,
Yeah.
with Shaman Stone.
It's
So I
not
hope
as strong
that
as
isn't-
Fluke Nest sometimes, but it's usually
Yeah.
pretty good.
It's also just,
Yeah.
like, very good against flying enemies. Just because it's an upward spell, it can struggle in some scenarios.
Yeah, but it can also help a lot when you are struggling.
Yeah, the game's like multiple spells is they all have their own individual uses.
Yeah,
That's one of the really cool things about speedruns is you end up using pretty much most of the abilities. They all
That's
have
the
a
cool thing
use.
about Hollow Knight in general is like even like casually, like all the charms have like uses, really. And while that's not necessarily the case in speedrunning, you know, most charms have like a purpose, and casually you could just do anything. That's why the game is
We
so
use,
cool.
like,
There's
a
so much to
decent
do.
amount
There's
of
so
the
much
charms.
expression.
It is a nice run. We use a decent amount of the charms, like I think over half the charms or something around there, and we use every single nail art is used and use all the abilities and use dream gates a lot. There's nothing that we pick up and just like leave behind other than like maybe like essence. I don't know. We have a lot of that.
Yeah,
Even the maps
CC
used in glitched.
Yeah,
yeah.
that's true. CC picking up Shade Cloak and an Arcane Egg, which is the relic that sells for the most. It sells for 1200. And then Dream getting out because Shade Cloak is one of those hard saves, as mentioned. Shade Cloak, there's these Shade Gates around the map that you need Shade Cloak to dash through. It makes one of your dashes invulnerable, and you can dash through enemies and
Nice.
stuff without taking damage.
Good good acid skip, I may.
Mm-hmm.
First try.
Ooh,
and
right
good
side
spike
tunnel.
tunnel.
So that spike tunnel, normally you're intended to crystal heart through it from a different area, but speedrunners ignore that and just go through them with a precise dash and pogo. And with these acid skips, which are basically you cling to a wall right above the acid and then crystal dash from it. The game normally doesn't intend you to be able to, but you can sequence break a lot of stuff with them throughout the entire map. And picking up Ismus Tier, which lets you swim in that acid now.
Yeah, so in CC also got another early control there. We lured the Hornp all the way from the very left of the room to the right of the room, and it hit us directly out of the Ismus tier right when we grabbed it. And then there's a grub behind it that we save, and then Dream get out. May's fighting Hornet too here. Showing so in this fight you really have to hit a lot of doubles. Sorry, it's
Damn, I thought that was
very
gonna
intense
double.
because May's on 1 health here.
Okay.
We lived.
Close. Alright, good.
Okay, I'm about to go for one balloon.
So this is Grim. We've been collecting all these things for these guys, and now he's here to fight us because he feels like it. And in the speedrun, we want him to get in this balloon attack and then shriek him a bunch.
Oh, I missed it.
Barely missed. I think he's 1 streak away.
Yeah, and then I screwed up. It's whatever.
Right. So normally he only goes into this balloon attack after a certain amount of damage, but if you hit him right away, he goes into it immediately, which we abuse by hitting him and then shrieking him a bunch, and he just dies. But it can go very wrong because we're also overcharmed. So if you die, you no longer have any soul for him, so the fight takes forever.
Sometimes Shriek also just decides not to do enough damage, which is rough.
If enemies are hit too quickly after, I believe it's too quickly after they were already hit, they can just iframe some stuff, which Shriek is very prone to. It can sometimes only hit 3 out of the 4 hits.
Yeah, sometimes it just decides to do it even if
Yeah,
nothing
on the
else
actual
happened.
individual hits of the shriek as well.
It just is like, yeah, we didn't want you to work here, so only 3 hits.
Yeah, it's because enemy iframes can last between like an extra frame sometimes, and if they last an extra frame too many times, you just get owned.
So we're gonna enter a really exciting portion here, which is Grubfather. Would it be a good time for donos, CC?
Yeah, it'd be a great time.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, well, I do want to remind everybody what we are here raising funds for. It's the Girls Make Games Scholarship Fund. Girls Make Games believes in providing every girl and woman with the opportunity to discover their potential and talents through gaming and game development. With your donations, you're able to contribute directly to the Girls Make Games Scholarship Funds that provides girls and women with girls and women with the resources and opportunities to pursue careers in gaming through Girls Make Games' many programs, such as their 2024 college scholarships, summer camp scholarships, and the new mentorship and internship programs launching later this year. It's an amazing, amazing charity. We're working really hard here. We're trying to hit our final milestone of $2,000 for Girls Make Games Scholarship Fund, but we can't do it without your help. We're so close. We have less than $150 to go. Please get your donations in, and do remember that when we hit that milestone, we're gonna unlock the Path of Pain showcase, which you really want to see it. You really, really want to see it. Please get those donations in.
Thank you very much. Oh wow. So Brooding Moloch, kind of an easy boss. He just takes 3 streaks and he dies. He just died
Imagine
really
dying
quickly.
to Moloch.
I actually died twice in my baby.
Imagine though.
Yeah, imagine.
Welcome
could
to
be
the boss, though. It was just a split, but, you know, same thing.
Yep. One of the scarier overcharms, in my opinion, is Brooding Moloch into this upcoming split, Fungal Waste. It's a pretty scary overcharm, but it saves a lot, so unfortunately you're highly incentivized to do it. I personally don't.
I love this overcharm. It's fun.
It's a lot better in 112.
Yeah, it is.
We're actually abusing Defender's Crest discount at Leg Eater right now, which is if you have Defender's Crest equipped from Dung Defender, then Leg Eater will give you a discount, which we actually use. Normally it's a pretty niche mechanic, but nice to have for geo routing.
It's because Leg Eater likes it for whatever reason. Don't judge.
Respect.
I think canonically, Dung Defender like saved him at some point, and so he's like, "Wow, you're a friend with my hero. Here, I'll give you stuff for cheap." Not to imply the game has lore.
About to fight a really cool and beloved boss by the Hollow Knight community, Elder Who
I'm also a short soul because I missed the dream nail.
oh,
So-
and this is what we call the pancake attack, which is sly.
Yeah, no one likes Elder Who at all because pancakes just waste a bunch of time, and he's not there to get hit while he's doing the pancake attack. You just have to sit there and dodge the oncoming thing. The,
And if
Honestly,
you
the
just
pancakes.
the Dream Warriors are kind of just all awful. They're some of the worst bosses between No Eyes and Who.
they're very boring for sure. And the best part is we don't even get his essence in this category. We just do it because of the category limitations. He
Percent.
might be a percent as well.
Wow,
Yeah.
y'all, tell me how you really feel.
Well, no one likes that guy. Especially when you have like less equipment. Some other categories like True Ending fight him very early on with no spell upgrades. He could just take so long. If he just gives you all those RNG attacks in a row, like your run is just instantly not that good anymore.
Trying to give you lots of pancakes.
Hey, he
Yeah,
just
it's not breakfast time. It is.
Alright, Mei fighting Grim now can be a little scary. Mei doing the non-overcharm variation of the fight though. Going for a 2 cycle, which generally much easier than a 1 cycle and less punishing.
Should be enough soul for it.
Not when you get
Oh,
hit out
shoot.
of that.
No.
For the
Great
non-overcharm
Slash Hero
version,
get
you
it
need
close.
yeah. For the non-overcharm version,
Oh.
you need pretty much every hit of the shrieks. CC fighting.
Yeah,
Mantis
that's a
Lords,
trade-off
which-
there.
Yep, it can make the fight safer, but ironically harder
There we go.
at times. CC fighting Mantis Lords, which normally we can fight really early, but instead we opt to come back later because they die in like 2 hits.
They're a pretty fun boss casually, and in speedruns it's kind of more of a nuisance than anything because they only have one really good attack, or like one really good pattern, and all the other patterns lose a lot.
There's a few good patterns with the extra soul.
Yeah, luckily for Twister. Yeah. Sorry, what?
No, it's okay. I was just saying I was so proud of myself when I beat them the first time.
Oh yeah, it is such a good feeling.
You're right. Yeah, they are fun in that like you just feel so good when you get it done.
First time.
Yeah,
I
they're one of
played
the best
them,
designed.
These first time
Especially
you see
their
two of them coming
upgraded
at you
version.
oh gosh. Yeah, it's terrifying when you see them coming in when there's two and you're just used to the one.
So we're about to see the most upgraded version of the Grimkin, which are Grimkin Nightmares. They do double damage, which means when we're overcharmed, they deal 4 damage, which means we can only take one other hit apart from that throughout the entire segment, pretty much. But they still die in 3 Shade Souls, or 2 if you double them. So, you know. They can be scary, especially when overcharmed. Usually they're not.
It's funny. Every single boss that we introduce, we're like, oh my gosh, this boss is so scary. He does a lot of damage, but I mean, just like double him a couple times. Just shoot a couple fireballs.
Like,
Yeah.
they die.
They just die.
Well, see, it's just not going wrong for me, you know.
Yeah, they
But
can be
I
a pain.
I can think of so many runs where I've just died to like Grimkin or just something like that.
CC doing an area right now. Charm Notches are actually, you do not need any of them to do 112 or 107. Or, sorry, you don't need to go out of your way to get any of them. You do technically need a few. But normally we just get them because, you know, they're really nice to have.
They are
for
not
the run.
percents.
Yeah. We get them strictly for... It's not even luxury. They're just faster. We wouldn't get them if they weren't faster, but they are luxury as well. Because if we had to do the whole run on 3 Charm Notches, it would not be fun, to be honest.
Yep.
You know,
Charms are good.
fun.
Charms are what make Hollow Knight Hollow Knight. Why would you not use them? May successfully fending off Brooding Moloch, getting his map shard, and CC doing Umu, which is another one of the game's RNG checks, which is very notorious for not being nice. He can do fast
Especially
attacks,
in,
slow
like,
attacks,
any percent.
and yep. In categories
that-
like any percent, he can lose you a lot of time.
Oh,
He is invulnerable until our friend Quirrell comes in and hits him, but in that time, he can do slow attacks, fast attacks, and then he can also do an extra attack of either one. And so ideally we want him to do 2 fast, 1 slow, and kill him on the first cycle. But sometimes he will be mean, and sometimes we have to do an entire another cycle, which loses about 15 seconds. 20, depends on his RNG.
yeah. I got 2 slow, 1 fast, which is, you know, it's a little bit sad, but no extra attacks, no extra cycles, so.
Yeah, in general in 112, or in 107, 112, we don't really care too much. It's not a huge deal. In categories like any percent, you definitely don't like to see bad RNG.
But Monomon is our first dreamer.
Yep.
We need
So-
these to get to like beat the game.
Yeah, so they were marked on our maps that we never picked up like an hour ago. But we just decided not to go there.
How am I gonna know where to go?
Oh.
Why didn't we get Wayward Compass?
Oh, true.
May
we
fighting
actually
Elder Who?
do get it.
More pancakes?
Yeah, we'll get it later.
Okay.
Okay, he was only a little bit of a breakfast guy today.
The Dreamers are another hard save in the game as well. So they can make routing pretty complicated. We would probably get some of them earlier if we had Dreamgate, but since Dreamgate takes a long time to get as well, it really makes routing a whole mess.
yeah, Dreamgate's like the main reason we fight Failed Champ and Lostkin so early. Like Lostkin, they're
Tyrant,
kind of there
yeah.
for wings anyway, but like Failed Champ and Tyrant, we could kind of just go back and do if it weren't for the essence requirements.
CC entering a room that we call QGA, which is Queen's Garden's Acid Skip. It's not a thing in this category because we have Ismus tier, but in other categories, you can actually Acid Skip. You can Crystal Heart off a very tiny part of the wall, which is pretty precise, but pretty cool. Very
place a
popular
Dream
Hollow
Gate?
Knight skip.
I don't think I did. We're gonna check.
Those are kind of important.
Yeah, they help. I think I've been running to. Yeah. Okay, yeah, I didn't. Thank God I checked.
Oh.
Goodness.
I was following
the
the
worst.
all skills vibe.
Wouldn't be the worst. It'd be probably about 30 seconds of backtracking. Maybe less, but you know. Yeah, Dream Gate's very important. They do cost 1 essence. In this category, we have more essence than we'll ever need. But in categories like 112, you actually do want those random essence drops. A lot of them you get in Colosseums. You'll get them throughout the run, though. And
actually, like,
we
rely
get
on
a
them.
Whispering Root, which are not percents, but you need it to make up the essence because of the Dreamgate costing 1.
Yeah, we rely on getting an average amount of like, I think it's like, I don't actually remember how many it is on the entire run, but it's like 6 in Kalos alone. So
I believe it's 16 Dream Gates, so you need 16 essence, and you need about like 7 random essence throughout the run. I believe something like that. CC might have a number.
I don't have numbers when I'm playing the game.
Fair enough. I probably wouldn't either.
Right now I'm
solid
focused
swords.
just because the section HP is super important and I messed up a lot. So I have to quit out here. It's an optional one.
Yep.
But
A lot of the times when we play Stream Gates down, you can quit out before going to them just to get health. It loses a bit of time, but very helpful.
better than dying.
Yep. May entering Fungal Core now, about to fight the Grimkin. And CC doing Queen's Garden's Arena. Pretty scary arena casually, but luckily we know everything is where it's going to spawn, when it's going to spawn. We just kill everything with 1 or 2 spells. And using Dream Wielder, which mentioned
fuck it.
before.
I did not want to get hit there. That makes this a little scary. Alright.
Scary, but working out.
Did not die. That's the...
That circle attack especially, it's so easy to just focus on doing the spells and then like one of the orbs comes out of nowhere and you're just dead.
CC about to do what we refer to as frogs. They don't look like frogs, but they're jumping around. One of the game's many RNG checks, which are very notorious for just doing a lot of damage. CC getting through the first
was a
3 months
really-
unscathed, mostly.
Really good Frog Swan.
Sometimes they can just
Solid.
deal all your health, and normally you're doing them, in this run especially, you're doing them... Getting
That
2-hit
is-
frogs is really good.
Yeah, that's about as good as you can ask for when it comes to frogs.
We do that to kill Marmu. She dies in 2 shrieks. You know, she just wants to play, have a fun time. I respect it.
Rip.
I think she had fun. Yeah,
Still
frogs
doesn't
very
know
notorious, very unfun. We don't
Shout
like
out to
them.
the voice acting in this game.
Yeah, Marmu is very fun. I like Marmu, but as a boss, she kind of just jumps around. Not too interesting.
Oh.
CC doing some very fun to navigate rooms to enter Deep Nest right now.
Yeah,
They are fun
these
to
tall
navigate,
rooms-
but they're super hard.
Yes. Very difficult.
Yeah, these tall rooms, the cyclone drop, or the cyclone slash, is such a fun way of dropping through the room. May doing Umu now. Luckily, the one cycle isn't too bad in when you have Abyss Shriek, because he just dies.
Perfect pattern. Assuming I don't get an extra. Famous last words.
And we're now entering Beast Den, which, luckily with wings, you can just do this, where you just take a shortcut and avoid the entire thing pretty much. You do need a grub in here, but it saves a lot of time. It trivializes the whole thing pretty much, and we do that to get a Dreamer as well, Hera,
That's our, yeah,
which
our second
marks
Dreamer.
2 out of 3.
Yeah, you grab the second Dreamer pretty close after you grab the first Dreamer. But the third Dreamer isn't for a good second.
Yep.
The streamer is also Hornet's mom in the game, so we're gonna see Hornet paying condolences. But we won't talk to her because we're mean.
Yeah, we don't like time
Black
off.
time loss. Yep.
Exactly.
Saving a grub upcoming, which, you know, in other categories like any percent is optional, but you're very mean if you don't. You just pass right by him. Luckily, we have to get him in this category, so you can't justify leaving him.
There was an old world record that was unbeaten for a while that lost a decent amount of time to saving the grub. Because it slowed Pest down on the spiders. And so Pest got hit by the spiders and then had to do damageless last about on the 3216. So they lost like 6 seconds to saving the grub.
Alright. Getting the last Grimkin Flame from this guy, which is a trader of the Grim Troop actually. He'll give you one for free. We don't actually intend on meeting with him later, but you can actually banish Grim instead of doing the other Grimkins, which they do in 112. But in this category, we have to fight the Nightmare King Grim, so we do end up just taking the flame and leaving.
112 is also all bosses, but they do the boss rush mode, so they can save some bosses for that.
Nice, random essence.
Unfortunately, Random Essence doesn't really matter in this category, but
it's always fun
we still
to
love
see.
to see it. Yep.
It's the game smiling down on you for killing
The game
Thunderbug.
frowning. It's the game frowning upon 112 runners, because it's just given to 107 runners instead.
Mm. For every essence I get in this run, I lose one in another 112 run.
These rooms in Deep Nest, I think every room in Deep Nest is fun in its own right, basically.
Oh my god. Oh
Yeah,
my god.
Deep Nest, super creepy area casually, but in the speedrun, it's actually pretty fun. There's a lot of interesting rooms.
Somewhat spooky alien fight there, but I mean, we're through it.
I just shrieked super early and missed all my damage, and yeah. Oops.
Yeah,
So
a big
now I'm
problem.
one hit.
Yeah, because we're overcharmed at Deep Nest, he only has 1 health right now. May going for a Dream Nail drop, not quite working, but it's pretty swag when it does. Picking up the Love Key, which we didn't mention earlier, but we do need the Love Key to open the Tower of Love later on May's screen to fight the Collector and save 3 grubs. CC heading towards Tram Pass, which we need for Lower Kingdom's Edge and the Hive.
Yeah, you can't access the hive without Tram Pass, which is where we're gonna get that last percent and also some grubs.
Yeah, so the Hive Knight boss is the boss that actually makes this category different from 106, which is ran on 1221. So that is the extra percent, is Hive Night, which we'll see in a bit. But for now, we're doing the Zote arena, saving Zote. Could be a little scary, but not too bad.
I have so much rando brain, I just started leaving the Mimic Grub room.
Yeah, Mimics, haven't mentioned, but you've probably seen some grubs just turning into some really angry guys. Those are Mimics. They're not nice, but we do save 4 out of the 5 in the run, actually, right? Because,
Because it's faster to just swipe them out of the way and then pass through them instead of
yeah, we only don't hit
leaving
one.
them.
Oh,
Oh,
that's-
no.
No.
Bro, that Horn Husk is ruining my PB pace. No. I was a minute and a half ahead.
That was
I'm a minute and a half
super
ahead.
unfortunate death from CC, but
Yeah, he did have to leave Beast Den there as well, because you can't actually Dreamgate out of Den. That's extra salt in the wound.
I don't think this path's faster, but I just impulsively did it.
Yeah, not something you study too much, the fastest route back to where you died.
Oh,
I'm
especially
going
if
the wrong
I...
way.
Oh my. I'm not actually... So, the game's mechanic, if you die, is it spawns a shade, which you can go back and get all of your money. But if you die before getting the shade, you actually lose all of your money permanently. So, dying twice is typically completely run-ending.
goodness. CC's just giving us all a quick heart attack there.
Okay, he will be healing, so he's no longer on 1 hit. So,
Just everyone
should be good now. But that was scary for a bit.
Oh.
losing all the geo there would be really just absolutely devastating.
It would be
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Geo,
get Cliffsidal.
yeah, Geo is typically mostly routed, so if you lose it, you like can't do anything. You can try and go hit
Bruh.
some or get some idols.
I actually just
Oh,
lost
well.
a minute to going into Deep Nest before doing QG upper. I'm so smart.
Ooh, routing a bit rough.
That geomechanic is one of the most brutal things in the game, I feel. It's just so rough.
Yeah.
I think every single casual player is really familiar with the feeling of losing all of your geo because you died twice before getting your shade.
Yep.
Or you
definitely.
died again.
Very much. Very
It's
much
a-
so.
It's such a painful feeling.
All right, we had a question in the chat if we have met the Path of Pain goal. We have not. We're not there yet. We're so close, though. I would love to see some donations come in. We are only $136 and some change away from meeting the Path of Pain milestone, which incidentally, when we meet it, it means we will have raised $2,000 for Girls Make Games Scholarship Fund. Y'all want to talk about the Path of Pain a little bit? Get everybody hyped. Let's go.
Guys,
Path of Pain.
we need the Path of Pain. This is I mean, it's like, it is literally the hardest area in the game to traverse.
I don't
I
know,
think
I'm
there's
doing
something
frogs
special
right now.
about. Yeah, May going through frogs right now, which
Okay.
you know we're seeing their full effect. They can
I
really
took
just be
2
such a
hits
pain,
like
especially.
instantly, but
Gosh. Oh, but
Okay,
we're through
that's
that.
manageable.
Aptly named Path of Pain. Truly
Exactly. It's painful. It is so hard. It is I don't know, it took me many hours. I didn't actually keep track, but it was many hours. I just sat down and did it in one like session, and it was like day when I sat down, and then it was night when I finished Path of Pain. It was bad.
It's platforming, right? It's all platforming. It's just like an incredible platforming showcase.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's only
yeah.
4 rooms. It's just like 4 very hard rooms.
It is just 4 rooms, but that is an extreme simplification of it, to say the least.
4 incredibly brutal rooms that we will not get to see unless we meet that milestone, that $2,000 milestone. Again, only $136 away. Please, please get your donations in.
Please, we would love to see the Path of Pain.
Please. I actually really want to see it. Like, please get the donations in. Like, I super want to see this. Hollow Knight kicked my butt so hard, casually. I think I had like 80 hours in my first playthrough, and it was really funny because I was like, nobody give me any spoilers. I don't want to know anything about it. So a bunch of like speedrunning friends like hopped in, and they were like, "Oh, you're doing it with that nail?" And I was like, "What? Don't tell me." So I like
Oops.
didn't find the nail upgrade, and I just so it's really exciting for me to see just like top-notch players destroying this game. I would love to see the Path of Pain. We only get to see it if we hit that milestone. Please donate, everybody.
I think there's something special about watching normal speedrunners do Path of Pain, which they've never done before. Because it's like, they're like us now. They're back to being casuals.
If they're doing it, everybody has to do it casually the first time, no matter what your skill set is. Obviously, they're bringing a little bit more to the table, but yeah.
Not first time, but may as well be, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, if I do it in 5 minutes, that's definitely how long my first attempt at it was. Don't fact check me on that. Oh, God.
No.
This is always painful. Something like this happens.
Yeah, so that's Nebula's fault for finding that slope boost.
Yeah. Fuck that guy. No,
You should
okay.
say still the left one first.
No, because if the right one moves left, you also lose. So you have to shade solve the right one first. I just spaced it bad. That was a skill issue, but
Can't believe Nebula would find strats. What the heck?
yeah, it's not allowed. That's my
That
job.
doesn't sound like me. So Maeve running the non-overcharm variant, which isn't really much worse, but a lot less scary for sure.
Yeah, it helps the Zote Arena enemies all have, like, under 30 health, like 30 or less health, so they all die in one shot anyway.
Some of my favorite movement like section is the one CC's doing now. Doing Edge with Sharp Shadow, which we have equipped, which also we just got recently. It extends your Shade Cloak dash, which is very useful for going fast.
Yeah, it's like 2 dashes in one. It's really a ginormous dash.
Oh, I'm not a big fan of this.
Yeah, this health is not ideal for Kingdom's Edge.
Yeah, moving around with Sharp Shadow Dash Master is very fun. As a casual, even like I hated it at first, because I just kept dashing into things, but once you get used to it, it's very helpful and a lot of fun to use.
Oh. I needed soul for this boss.
Yep, Markov, kind of a jerk. We just shake him a couple times. Normally he dies. Probably the hardest dream boss though, and he gives them assessments at 250.
He also scales like
Super
the most
efficient.
aggressively with nail upgrades, so is another really good reason to not upgrade your nail. Especially because the second phase where the second shield spawns and the nails spawn much faster can be an absolute nightmare, so the fact we're able to just spam through that is really nice.
I think he's like the biggest scaler when it comes to nails, like, but for any boss, right? Isn't there like
I think
definitely
so,
one of
yeah.
them?
He's like just below parity between like the nail damage increase and the health increase, which is pretty brutal.
Yeah, if you have
Yeah,
nail
even though the bosses
700
take,
health. It's a lot of health.
yeah, normally the bosses gain more health, and like technically they die in fewer nail hits, but because we're not nailing them at all, they take way longer.
Oh, what? Where'd my jump go?
CC picked up the last nail art, which is dash slash, just now, which it slashes when you dash. You know, pretty self-explanatory, but
It reaches
definitely pretty
really
useful.
far. Like really
Mhm.
far.
Really far,
So I
and
got
does
one-
the same amount of damage as Great Slash, I believe.
Yes, it does.
We got a minute for a donation here.
Yes.
Yep.
All right, well, some rando named Spradicratic donated $36 and some change. Said Path of Pain, let's go! So now we are at exactly $100 away from seeing that Path of Pain showcase. We have about an hour and a half to get $100. I believe we can do it. I really, really want to see this showcase. Please, please, get those donations in, my friends.
Only
God.
$100. We gotta get those donations in. We really gotta.
$100, and you know you don't have to donate $100. If you only have $5, that's $5 more for Girls Make Games. If we could get a $5 donation train going, we could hit this, I believe, no problem. We have 95 people in the chat. Heck, if almost everybody in chat just gave $1, we would make it.
This is the sea dash.
That would be true.
I love getting like 3 dashes in where it's no longer worth it, but you know that you're wrong.
And it's just sad. It's like, it's the walk of shame, the dash of
Yeah.
shame.
CC in the hive right now, just doing a skip. Pretty cool. You latch onto a hidden wall, which you then dash off of, and then wings. Normally you have to crystal dash to there.
Yeah, no,
Hardest scrub to find casually.
Only $80 away, Lefty Twinkleton sent in $20. It says, thank you for a great weekend, Complete-a-thon. $80 away. $80 away from the milestone and the showcase. Let's go, chat. We can do it.
Great. Thank you for the 20. Yes, $80 away. Holy. Yeah, that was a crazy big BRNG from right there.
Yeah.
CC. That was ridiculous.
So that mask shard that he just picked up is behind a breakable wall, which only the Big B, named Big B, can break. And he could be such a nuisance sometimes, just refusing to dash at it, and sometimes he dashes right away, which is what CC got there. It just feels so good when he does it right away. And now we're fighting Hive Knight. The Hive, a super scary area, casually and in the 112 run. Not as scary in 107. We do have to use Grimchild, which means we don't have to do it overcharmed. But doing it overcharmed is really good for 112, which means it's a lot scarier.
Yeah, so we want to take off Grimchild here, which means we get to quit out anyway. But in 112, since we banished, we don't need that Grimkin. So now we can't quit out, and suddenly we're overcharmed, and it's spooky.
Oh god. I jumped out the transition the wrong way, so I have to wait for that guy.
That is unfortunate.
May doing the Garpede Vessel Fragment, which honestly is probably one of my favorite like skips. It's pretty
One of
risky to
the
go
coolest
for.
rooms in the game, honestly.
Pretty risky to go for since you can get double damage, but you damage tank on purpose to get up there and just skip the cycle instead of having to wait for that guy.
Your soul's good, right, Nebula? I don't remember.
Cool. You need 2
Okay.
hits.
Yep. Thanks for helping me cheat.
Yeah, we're about to fight Collector, which is trivialized with a quick kill. But with low equipment, can get really out of control really fast. Because they normally spawn a bunch of little enemies, which can be a complete pain, especially if your nail's not upgraded. They could just get out of control. Luckily, it just dies without spawning anything. We can get soul off of that Vengefly that we lured, and it's as simple as that.
All right, y'all. Shredberg sent in $10 and says, gaming. Thank you so much. Now we're only $70 away. Again, if everybody in chat donated only $1, we would actually have more than enough. Even every single donation matters. Please, even if you can only give $5, even if you can only give $1, we're trying to meet that $2,000 milestone and unlock that Path of Pain incentive that will happen at the end of this run.
I need to see that Path of Pain. I'm gonna be honest, I need to. I've got to.
What's the time at the run? Time at the run right now? How much longer do you think we have left?
About an hour.
Well, the estimate is 3:20, and so we have a little over an hour and 20 minutes. If we're on estimate. And everybody's
We probably are. Not too much has gone wrong.
Anything like under, you know, today. It's been pretty impressive. I gotta ask the runners. What do you think? Do you think we're on?
I think we're leaning under.
Yeah. Yeah.
It
So
depends
probably,
if I
yeah.
die to color, basically.
I would assume y'all have about an hour to get that last $70 in.
Why am I going here?
Of course, if you want to donate more than that, it's all going in an amazing cause. That is our milestone, right? We want to hit 2K, but every single dollar of that is gonna go to the Girls Make Games Scholarship Fund. It is a wonderful, wonderful cause. That's part of why we are really pressing for it. We really want to be able to give them $2,000. Please get those donos in.
CC fighting Watcher Knights now, which casually can be a nightmare, but in the speedrun, they just die instantly to flukes, which is pretty hilarious and probably pretty therapeutic as a casual seeing it happen, because I know I struggled a little bit with this fight.
They really just explode. It's
Nice boss.
low effort boss.
May going through Kingdom's Edge now.
Yeah, I went into Hive, which we used to do before the most recent reroute, and the autopilot was too strong.
Yeah, it's one of the struggles of running a category like this, where it's so brutal. Something as simple as just switching the order which we do them in, like, can just ruin your muscle memory. Because it only saves a little bit doing it first, but like, it loses even more when you forget.
All right,
And we
y'all,
got the last
Lucy
streamer
in
for Larian.
$1 and says if everyone in chat donated $1. Thank you so much. That's $1 closer. We are a very nice amount away from that $2,000 milestone. Let's keep those $1 donations coming in. Blue is correct. If everybody in chat donated $1, we would more than make it. Thank you so much.
That is
Love
true.
losing health here.
Yeah, we would be way
CC picked
over.
up the last streamer, which technically means he could go and finish the game right now, but that's not our goal, of course.
I think it'd save a lot of time though.
It might. I haven't tried.
Don't you run any percent? Isn't that?
Yeah, it's like the goal.
Been a bit. May killing Markov very satisfyingly quickly.
That
We
was
don't like
such
that guy
a good
either.
split if I didn't go to Hive for 50 seconds.
That might be a minor setback.
Yeah,
This
this
is
run's
just-
deathless, and yet I've lost 3 minutes to just, like, getting lost.
It happens.
Yeah, I guess.
Selling to them, we're finally gonna upgrade our nail for CC before the upcoming section. It'll be nice to have it, and we're not going to be fighting any more Dream Warriors, so
For
not really any
speedrunners,
reason to avoid
this
it.
section is just really boring because all you do is just buy stuff and then sell stuff and then buy stuff.
Yep.
It's a nice break though, because you've got hollows coming up, which are super intense, and then Flower Quest and White Palace. A lot of scary
Yeah.
stuff soon.
The calm before the storm. It only took us, over halfway the run, but we're finally going to be upgrading our nail.
Exactly. Now we're not with that pesky old 5 damage nail.
But yeah, run's been
It is
super
only nail
good so
3
far.
though. You actually
If-
cannot upgrade your full nail before Colosseums though, because it actually gives a payload, so we're only going to be upgrading it to the second best nail, and we will have to come back later.
Second best nail does like 17 damage per hit.
Mhm.
So it's like over 3 times as powerful as our first nail was. Pretty good.
We're gonna fight a White Defender here, which upgraded form of Dung Defender. We're also gonna pick up the Idol, but this guy is one of those bosses that just explodes to flukes. He has so much health, and the flukes just deal so much damage to him.
All
Fun
right,
fact.
Jason LaRose sent in $10 and says, breaking my policy of not donating while unemployed. Don't tell the others. Thank you so much for your incredible generosity. That donation puts us now at only $59 away from that $2,000 milestone and unlocking the Path of Pain incentive.
Wow, someone broke half of the doors in here already. That's weird.
Huh.
CC getting a pretty good White Defender. That boss can go pretty south, especially when you're overcharmed, but it could also go really fast. Normally you want to scream skip, which a lot of bosses will scream after you deal a certain damage, which you can't normally hit them, but you can normally avoid that by taking damage or something. Sometimes he just won't scream at all though, and he'll just die, which is always really nice.
Fun fact about White Defender. So Dung Defender actually scales on your nail damage, but White Defender doesn't.
Oh my,
Oh no.
that's a new
The
one.
Grimkin Nightmare. Unfortunate placement of that orb though.
That was like actual crazy double damage. What the?
Double damage. Sometimes 4 HP isn't even enough with those things, man. They can
Oh
be
my god.
so scary.
Yeah, that was a generational flub, but it's fine. It also means that
Yeah.
I'm now gonna have 6 soul going into it, which does complicate things somewhat, just because the third cast is a nice backup to have.
This room that CC just did is a really fun room.
Oh my lord.
Yep. CC making his way to the Kalos, which is essentially just... It's a lot of waves of enemies that aren't very strong, but together can lose you a lot of time, save you a lot of time, you know? And
They're
Also, one of the
we'll be
best
doing it
parts of the
overturned.
run.
Casually as well.
They're very boring to watch sometimes, or they're very fun, depending on how you
Apollo
look at
3
it.
took a lot of people, including me, a long time in my first playthrough.
Yeah, the
It's,
first one's not too
it's pretty
bad,
hard.
but the third one, it gets hard quick.
Yep.
That section where you're like just in the air. Ugh.
We might be able to see a cool skip on May's screen.
Oh my god, how'd I miss it? Let me
Oh.
back that up.
That B was so awesome and cool.
Yeah, good backup. Yep, Kalos, they take about 13 minutes, give or take, I think.
Yeah,
it's a
I'll be
lot
here
of
for a while.
enemies. But a lot of memorization goes into it. May doing Big B right now, which, as mentioned before, can be very mean.
You get to see the other side of Big
What?
B. Right.
The duality of
side.
Big B, he gets there eventually.
Yeah, it is always eventually.
The good thing about this mask shard though is that when you upgrade your mask, it restores you to full health. So we actually intentionally, I think, intentionally. But we actually let it heal us for this upcoming boss because it is intentionally the 8th shard that we get.
It's the best battle cry. Everyone's just like wheezing. Ah.
Oh yeah.
He's a very happy guy.
He's buzzing like a bee. I love him. Just a big
Yeah.
bee. Well, not as big as a big bee, but
Medium B.
A big B, not as big as the big B. Not to be confused
not too
with the biggest
confused.
bees.
There is also a really big bee in the background. There.
A bigger bee. So CC on
Not
1 health
happy
right now
with HP.
could be a little scary, especially for the upcoming boss.
God. We're fine.
Well, we're not out of the clear yet.
Oh yeah, hardest boss. Really scary.
Remember that guy we saved earlier? Hmm.
He's very ungrateful.
So,
Oh yeah. This
Hollow
is actually,
one-
we have to go hitless here, so.
Hollow 1 normally not too bad. So the charm notches also heal you to full, like the master shards upgraded. So we actually greatly benefit off that because at the end of Hollow 1 we get a charm notch. So normally not too scary being on 1 HP. Yeah, a Hollow 1 not too bad. It gets much scarier later on though.
Yeah, we didn't die.
Yeah,
to
it was
that.
Yeah, it was a bit of a bad call one on my part, but you know, not everything can go perfect, right?
About to see Collector again. It gets the Scream Scope.
Alright, should be 1 shriek away.
Didn't stagger, but got the backup stagger. So, he ends up dying
Nice. Oh,
Fly? What the hell? But yeah,
No,
I
then
do
fly.
I err on the side of caution for the initial rotation, just so if it's more likely to just not stagger, so 1 shriek will stagger on the second jump than to stagger and wake it, just because then it can go south a little quicker, in my experience. But yeah, if you're bad like that, then it does mean that you have to wait for him to come back. What was that?
Did you get the grub?
No, good question.
Just making sure.
I just saw that grub and I was like, wait a minute, is it
Just making sure, because there's not a lot to do if we forget about that one.
No, that is,
we would have to go back and get the collector's map.
yeah, a certified rando player moment.
We just changed the stream title to 106%.
What am I doing? I'm meant to have soul here. I don't know how to fight
Yep.
this guy without.
oh my god.
I get a bench inspire for free, I think, as the player.
Yep.
Perhaps. One thing to note about the Colosseums is that, so the charm build, so we're using Soul Eater, which gives you a lot more soul per nail hit, and then we're also using Spell Twister, which makes spells cost less. So you just get this insane amount of like soul from charms. So you're getting so many spells off for like very little nail hits. And then we're also using shamans, of course, our favorite charm. Most waves die pretty quickly.
Yeah, we use our nail arts to kill the single guys and our spells to kill the groups.
Yeah. Great Slash does 1.5 times nail damage and dash slash as well, so that's why we charge a Great Slash and dash slash before every single one of these waves.
It's not 1.5, right? It's more like 2.5. Because primal
Oh, yeah.
aspects get 1
Like-
shot. And they're
I
3
believe
health
it's
swings.
2.5.
It's something. It does. It
More
makes a
than
deal
one.
difference, that is for sure.
More than one.
More than
Less
one.
than 20.
Less than, yes. Exactly.
They do enough damage. That's the point.
And the Oblobbles coming up, which very annoying boss. You could just take a lot of damage. Sometimes they'll just like not hit you, and you're wondering how it didn't hit you. Luckily, ending on being able to heal, so not too bad. May fighting
Yeah,
monster next.
You don't get a heal like you do in Call of 1.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So.
it's much worse to be taking damage in Call of 2 because of how scary Call of 3 can be, and there's no free heal. Another display of a very, very intense fight on Watcher Knights, and they're for sure not just dying instantly.
Those watching out guys are if you're having trouble with them, you can just equip Fluke Nest.
Or the Sending Dart.
Or anything.
Alright, y'all, I have an anonymous donation here for $1 with a controversial opinion. They say, I love No Eyes.
Oh no.
Kid,
Whoa.
you're so wrong.
I can see why it's anonymous.
Yeah.
They didn't want it. They didn't want
We
anyone
would
to know.
love to see a donation tray start. Everybody telling us their favorite boss. Please get those donations in. I was ready to start the boss love or possibly the boss hate. You know what? You can apply whatever emotion you want to your donation as long as you get it in before the end of this run so that we can see the Pat Pain incentive.
Another big RNG check in the Kalos right now are the Loodles, which are just different frogs. We still call them frogs, and they're really annoying. They jump everywhere, they can lose you so much time, and they can deal so much damage to you. Not going too badly for CC though. But being on 1 HP could be a little scary.
Luckily, get some free heals there.
Yeah, you get a couple free heals at this wave, and then
Later at Moloch.
Huh?
that streak is it's always fun. It kills. These waves are always really fun. They die so quick. It's a lot of like.
And then these waves are always really not fun, because they're very RNG. Going pretty well though.
These enemies are like actually spooky if you just try to fight them without this pre-plan that we have right here.
Mm-hmm.
They all have a lot more health than you would think, and
They also have a random spawn timer, which is really cool for my speedrun.
but you get all the way through to the Moloch part. Oh gosh, only a little spooky.
Ooh. So, because I don't have soul here, I'm going to be short HP or soul for floorless. I have to make a decision.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Floorless, what it sounds like, a section of the Kalos of Call 3, where you go without a floor. A lot of enemies spawn. Pretty scary, especially casually.
I am
Luckily-
opting for less health.
And if you do it perfectly, then you've done it flawless. So. God,
That only works with an Australian accent, mind you.
you
You're
gotta be
so
good for
cheating.
something.
I can't believe it.
All right, y'all, we have a $10 donation here from Blossom who says, can I see a major glitch from one of the runners, please?
It's gotta be you, May. It's gotta be you, May.
Alright.
I'm
I'll do an
on
airwalk
PB
jump
base.
somewhere.
Gonna be May.
It's gonna be me.
May going into White Defender.
Oh my gosh.
Thank you so much. We are now less than $50 away from our milestone. Oh my gosh, the donations are still coming in. CZ sent in $20. Says, I think this is the 5th time I've donated to make May do Path of Pain. Smiley face, good luck to both. Oh my gosh, thank you so, so much. Now, oh my, how far do we have to go? Less than $30. We are less than $30 away from the milestone and unlocking that Path of Pain instead of keep them coming in.
We
folks.
have to see it. We have to.
Yeah, we gotta
Wow.
see it.
We gotta.
Every little bit helps. Only 6 people
I
donated
expected a back roll.
$5. We'd make it.
The final boss of Call of 3, not too scary. We look to
Yeah.
kill the beast first instead of the little
Honestly,
human tamer,
As far as like
because the
final
fight
bosses
ends.
go, like yeah, like really, not. Honestly, both of the other 2 colos have kind of a scarier final boss than this one.
Sorry,
Mhm.
question for the host. Who was it that made that last donation?
CZ.
Oh, CZ. Okay, I thought you said CC, and I'm like, damn, he is multitasking.
Yeah,
But that checks
fighting
out.
God
No.
Tamer, donating money.
Real excited in the chat right now. No, you know, I mean, I wouldn't object if there was some sort of per death donation challenge that happened right about now.
I am not good enough for that, unfortunately. I mean, theoretically, there shouldn't be. Actually, I'm not gonna say that. That's just tempting fate.
I don't know. My brain's a little fried right now. I'm too locked in. Oh.
Alright, and May is doing the climb to colos now. It's a really fun room to do.
Imagine ILing rooms. That would be crazy.
I don't know. I wouldn't do
I
that
missed
personally.
some of the
You
donation
could like make a
comments there.
spreadsheet.
CZ actually said, good luck to both the gamers and thanks for the race supporting a great cause.
Yes.
Definitely was setting up to get the King's Idol there. I might be a rando player.
Oh. That was a very sad Grey Prince-out.
Yeah, that boss is a lot of RNGs. A lot, just like every boss, but he's also yeah.
Right now, I'm just doing some cleanup before we can get to the final section of the game. This is a charm we skipped earlier. Going to grab.
Imagine forgetting that and doing a 106 run twice.
Couldn't be me. Twice? Oh, I didn't hear about the second
It's like
time.
back to back. I checked the
Oh
sheet.
my
I'm the
gosh.
only person to 1xx -1 for the same thing.
That is really good. Oh my gosh. Yeah, this charm is actually the movement to it is it's really fun because it's mostly downwards and you have cyclone and we have down dash. So and then this is a big slug. Oh my gosh, I love the big slug.
Big bean.
Who doesn't love the big slug? I don't think anyone.
The game has a lot of just big blank, big B, big slug.
Mm.
Big fly and right
Yeah.
here on my screen.
Big
Rest
time
in
loss.
peace, Big Fly. BigTimesave.com.
Oh yes, bigtimesave.com.
Big chunk of my life I'm never getting back. I mean, I did great.
And CC is now gonna go ascend the seer, which when you get 2400 essence, the seer actually just kind of like bows out of her life, just kind of dies. But I mean, it's her choice, so we respect it, and it's also a percent. So I mean, we would do it anyways, even if we didn't, I guess.
It's also
I
pretty
have so
easy
little
to
soul.
do because you get the Awoken Dream now, which you need for White Palace, but you have to go talk to her again. So it's one of the most common missed percents for new runners.
And May
I
living
see.
through color 1, we're good.
Yeah, I went into Grozmother's with no soul, so trying to deal with that was interesting. And then like one's explosion was covering where the other one was, so I couldn't tell if it was gonna dash, which was a touch scary.
That is definitely a touch scary. And okay, for CC side, we're about to do definitely another very infamous part of this game. It is called Flower Quest. You pick up this item called Delicate Flower from this the Grey Mourner, and if you take any damage during your quest to deliver this flower, it's you just lose the flower. And you have to quit out and go re-grab the flower and do the entire quest again.
And
All
she
the way
makes
back
fun
from
of
the
you too.
start. Yeah, oh yeah, and she says, like, how could you do this to me? Stuff like that, and she makes fun of you. She's like, how could you be this bad at this game? Like, that's not good. And
See, I don't know the dialogue, I just know the voice lines like, why?
yeah, she literally says, why? It's so sad. But, and also you can't take stags when you have flower on. It'll break the flower. So you can't just travel all the way over to the end of flower quest and cheat. You actually
Stag's
have to,
not a smooth ride.
and it hard
Neither
saves
is
your bench.
Dreamgate, somehow.
Yeah, and it hard saves your bench. You can't Dreamgate either. It hard saves your bench at a flower, so you can't quit out. You can't like bench near there and quit out. You really have to get there the hard earned way.
Oh, sorry about that. I think should be good now.
We're so back.
We're back. We're doing flower quest.
Flower quest was so
Coliseum.
scary, man. Especially
And
with
the
flukes.
fun birds part of Coliseum too. I love those birds.
I forget what wave this is. Oh yeah, frogs.
The best part, well, hoppers.
Oh, hoppers, yeah. I'm glad it's not frogs.
Hoppers be hopping, frogs be hopping too, though.
And
Alright, y'all. Undelivane, I hope I said your name right. Sent in $3. It says, take my energy! And it's like, it's Mimi. It's like the super, it's got the meme. It's got the little guys. It's got the little
Yes.
energy guys in there. So good. Thank you so much for that $3 donation. Now we're only $25 away from the $2,000 milestone we're looking to meet to unlock that Path of Pain incentive. We have a little less than an hour to do it. 1 hour, $25. Please keep those donations in. $3 is a lovely donation amount. If everybody in chat donated $3, we'd way more than make it. Y'all are doing fantastic. Thank you so much for your generosity.
only 25. If only that is, we can do this easily, guys. I want to see this Path of Pain.
I want to see it too. Like I really want to see it at this point. Like, yeah. I want to see these runners destroy something that I could probably never do on my best day. Let's go.
By PB, you gotta do it.
That's true. Flower quest
CC
is always
is-
so tense.
Yeah.
Colors as well.
CC is nearing the ending part of Flower Quest. You did it very well. Didn't get hit at all. But
Yeah.
we still have one more room left, so don't get your hopes all the way up. Okay, we're through it.
With
Ooh.
practice, it's not too bad. There's not a whole lot of RNG involved. It's just getting the movement down. There's
And
some scary
the-
parts, but
The immense nerves is a huge
nerves
factor.
completely changes everything. Yeah.
Yeah, flower on PB pace is rough.
Exactly.
PB pace in a marathon, you know, all the joys.
Yeah.
Yeah, no matter how much practice you do, it's just like once nerves kicking, everything just goes out the window. I practiced this so many times, and I'm doing something I've never done before. Why? Yeah, May finishing up Colo 2 though. Not too bad.
Yeah, it
we
wasn't
might see it out, we
worse.
might not.
Yeah, I will save quit just for marathon. 3's like the lower bound of where I wouldn't but marathon,
Mhm.
so
So Coliseums are also a hard save. So we're gonna abuse that for relatively little time loss. Ideally we wouldn't, but yeah, for safety.
It's only 5 seconds, and if you die in Call of 3, it's 5 minutes, so.
Trader Lord, really hard boss, especially with flukes. Scream skip there, and I don't think there ever was a boss there.
Oh, I did a boss.
And
Oh.
we're gonna actually hit a grub through the wall here with a dash
This is
slash.
the last grub in the entire
That is the
game.
last grub, and we hit it through a wall. We don't even see
just-
him.
I kind of
And it's-
like. Dang. Oh no, you go.
Yeah, it's split, which means I did get all the grubs.
Nice.
You'd
So.
also hear him celebrating.
Mm-hmm.
oh my god, what am I doing?
And we get the white fragment. There are 2 of them combined to make King Soul. And then, well, we'll get there. But for now, we're just going to be looking to get the other one. We need both of them to beat the game.
All right, y'all, Slowson, and $11.14. It says for the best patch. And with that, we are less than $15 away from hitting our milestone, from unlocking the Path of Pain incentive. Keep them coming in, chat. Your donation does not have to be large to make a difference. Please donate to the Girls Make Games Scholarship Fund.
That's too slow.
So we're actually going to see Colo 3 at the same time as White Palace, probably. Which are 2 of like the most practiced things that you can do for like good time save in the run, which is pretty cool to see both at the same time.
Oh my
Whoa,
god.
White Palace
how
being-
one
Like
frog
skimmed.
hit the,
Yeah,
hit the
yeah.
surfing on that. That was crazy.
Oh. I forgot what I was doing.
That was really something else. That frog.
Mm.
Oh, right, we're going to Elegy first.
Oh god. My wall cling. All gone.
Oh yeah, this part of Call 3 is really annoying and weird.
I forgot to set the dream gate.
Yeah. So here we're gonna Dreamgate and Dirtmouth, which is not done in 112. So, understandable mistake from CC being a mostly 112 runner.
Yeah.
And we're gonna go for the second Grubfather trip. Really exciting. Really exciting split.
This is the
Great,
map
we can
of
watch,
my split.
We could take a bit to watch Maze Colo 3, which is always a fun watch.
Oh my gosh.
So much
I
that can
love the
happen.
big fireball. Such a nice. It's a big 40 damage jumping across your screen. So it's so satisfying.
Those spell twister guys that just, or soul twister guys that just teleport around, they're such a pain at every possible point in the game. From very early to very late, they're just the worst.
You didn't see that.
I guess I'm noticing now, we just don't like a lot of enemies.
There's good enemies. They're the ones that
Every-
die instantly.
Every enemy is just one that we hate.
The ones that aren't in the way are the good ones.
Yeah. You know, are there bosses that we like?
Oh god.
Tongue defender.
I like Tongue Defender.
Oh, true.
I love how when you beat Dung Defender, you see
Oh my
it
God, what
like
was that?
crawling back into the dung
Yeah, that
ball.
is
He's going back to
so
bed.
Good.
He's just like, well, my job here is done. So
Just
relatable.
taking a nap.
I tried.
CC going to upgrade the nail. Finally, we're getting the final nail upgrade.
Time to get some money.
You know, it was because Bato sent in $15 and says, let's go! With that,
Oh.
we have met the $2,000 milestone. In fact, we're over. We made it. We're gonna be seeing the Path of Pain. Thank you
Yes.
so much,
Let's go.
everybody, for your generosity.
Yay.
All of that
Oh my God.
$2,001.14 is gonna be going
Whatever.
to the Girls Make Games Scholarship Fund. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much. Good job, chat. Woohoo!
Yes, I'm so happy. You get to see Path of Pain. Thank goodness.
More pressingly, May on Floorless. It can always get really out of control. It can always give you good RNG. We never really know. These obbles can be really annoying. They just spread out everywhere.
Yeah. Like, I don't think any of the enemies in this part of Call of 3 are.
Oh god, I
our
forgot
favorite
there's this
enemies.
part. I just got
Oh,
dunked.
that sucks. It just bonks you down. Yeah.
That momentum really was.
Luckily, this is kind of a heal, but if you get unlucky, it could just interrupt your heal and go way worse. So
I've died to this part of Call of 3 so many times.
I have in practice. I'm not sure if I have in a run actually, but definitely
that
in
is a
practice, it
flex.
sucks. I don't know if it's a
definitely want
flex. I think I
more
just got
soul
lucky.
here. No, call it your like god tier reactions.
And then CC now entering White Palace, which is the home of Path of Pain, but also just in general one of the hardest platforming sections in the game. It's this 4-minute long grind of just precise movement, making cycles, whatnot. So hopefully we'll see a demonstration on what it looks like.
Hopefully.
And CC also does all of the difficult stuff.
Yeah, there's some safe shots you can do for other cycles. There's some hard shots you could do. CC opts for the harder ones normally. And May finishing up Call It 3 here.
Yeah, there's only a couple cycles that are just really stupid to do. And so I don't do them, but people would argue all my cycles are stupid to do, so.
Exactly.
It's me, people.
Yeah.
Actually, I think left atrium 2, I like your cycle, but that's about it. Balcony 2.
That's it.
I think the salt tunnel,
Ooh.
not great.
Womp womp.
Womp womp. I actually don't know the backup cycle.
I'm a big fan of CC's Balcony too.
Okay, nice cycle there.
Yeah, so that is one of the more difficult cycles that is just wow. Like, I
Ooh.
would never go for that personally.
And we're actually going to see Shrogo, which is one of the more recently discovered tricks where you use an Abyss Shriek and then pogo it to get height. And you can actually use that here, like here, to skip the entire part of this White Palace. It saves like
Pogo
30
your
seconds.
own spell. Like, this game doesn't make any sense.
Yeah,
It's also a very controversial skip. A lot of people did not want it to be
$1
legal.
for every time you could pogo your own spell. I'd have $2, which isn't a lot, but it's really weird it happened twice.
yeah, wait for Dogo. Pogo your dive.
Dogo.
Grapen's such a funny boss. Just face tank, he dies.
Oh my
To
god, if
flukes.
you jump the right way, please, sir.
Nice. By CC.
So we saw the salt on him.
Hitting all this stuff. Yeah,
Nice.
hitting all the stuff even. The hard stuff.
Are we gonna see
Honestly-
a Shrogo?
Oh yeah, we're
Another
seeing
one?
Shrogo, yeah. Yeah,
Oh yeah.
you know it.
This one much less worth it
Half a
Seems like
second.
0.5. Yeah, but oh,
Womp
womp womp. It's so
We're
sad.
losing time.
Yes. We sure good.
Alright, not a horrible White Palace. For CC standards, he would probably reset here, but, you
Oh
know.
yeah, 100%. It's over. I just wasted 2 hours.
But for
What's
most
the point of
people,
running this?
pretty good.
Yeah. What's the point of running this category with a bad White Palace?
Hmm. The other 3 hours.
Oh. Yeah, I kind of forgot about that.
Odd. And that's the second king fragment, or the second white fragment.
Yes, we get to see the big slug again. I'm so happy. May does the. Oh, you go all the way. You gotta be funny. I see. I see.
Yeah, the
Yep.
swag strat.
And we're now paying $3,000 for a shard, which is not very worth it.
No, that seems worth it. Yeah, like that's how much I would pay for a shard for a single vessel fragment.
It also
think-
doesn't tell you it's a shard. It just asks you to give you all the money.
That's some patriotism right there.
It's so funny. It just says give all of your money, and then it
Completely
only takes 3,000 of it.
switching.
That's my
For this section,
They're like, just give us a ton of money. Yes, no. What's gonna happen? Who knows? Just give us all your money.
so this section can be kind of scary because if you take 1 damage, this door no longer opens. You need 15 lifeblood if you're using Joni's Blessing. So and you only have 15 health. 14? 15. So we're going down here to open up the birthplace, and then dunking to hazard respawn up here as the door opens. But if you miscount and dunk early, you just have to save and quit.
And it loses like 40 seconds. I would never have that happen though. I don't know. Don't ask me how I know how much it loses.
Yeah, it's essentially a death.
It can be worse than a death in some cases.
Some deaths can be fast. It's like a pretty average death.
Hmm.
And yeah, now we're going to birthplace, which opens up once we have King Soul, which opens up after the 2 white fragments.
Get to see all of our brothers and sisters.
Yep, and we're going to be doing an abyss climb, which popular room,
Hmm.
and Mace starting
Hollow
Fire
Knight.
Crush as well.
Yeah. Hollow Knight really shines in its vertical movement because you have just so much air control. And so these like long vertical rooms are just super popular among speedrunners.
Yep, there's a lot of skill expression. It's super cool to watch, like good runs. Yeah, it's really easy to get lost as well. Like when there's so many platforms, you just have to do it over and over again until you memorize it.
I've been getting scammed. That wall is deceptively short.
But yeah, we're getting solidly through this. Even a couple dunks, but
And a
I mean,
cutscene.
Yeah.
we move on. May's gonna buy
They're
out.
going to be
we're gonna-
going through
Well,
the flower
not
crush
there.
rooms now.
we buy
Which,
a couple Ultron Rushes and yeah.
and that is Void Heart, which is the last thing we need to beat the game. There's only one more thing we need to do, which is kill the Nightmare King Grim, which was what all those.
Also buy a bunch of stuff.
True. Which is what all those little Grim guys were for, to kill the Nightmare King. Which I think is a %. No. Well, yes, either that or banishing. But
Put on
we
compass
fight
for the
him
fans.
because of the category. Me getting through the Gome Master Shard room, hitless. Pretty good.
I'd hope it's
One of-
hitless.
Yeah, I'm praying it's headless.
Well, it's one of the scarier parts of Flower Quest for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
That
Get to
Gum
see it.
Mastered room ends like every flower quest ever. Well, probably at least like 70% of flower quests end in that room.
And
Well,
we get a
The
blessing.
failed ones, I mean.
It's like my 4th one. Outside of Colo, at least. I wasn't looking in. That's concerning.
Jesus.
I just had 3 heart attacks back to back. Oh my gosh.
Alright,
That was so
And it-
fine.
I don't know if you guys were concerned, but I wasn't.
Another
Me
blessing.
personally, I'm just built different.
The thing with Flower Quest is it's honestly scarier to be the person watching than the person doing it, right?
Yeah, except for there, maybe.
Yeah, when it goes wrong, it's kind of scary as both, but when it's going right, it's definitely scarier being the one watching.
Okay, yeah, also, time to talk about NKG, so, which is Nightmare King Grim. So, a strat that CC found, or implemented at least, is the use of Grub Song. So, we're going to be doing the same thing we did for Grim, except we're going to be intentionally damage tanking on the balloon to get soul for the Shrieks, which actually give us enough soul to kill him in 2 cycles. And damage taking on the balloon only does 1 damage when normally he would do 2. So, it's a really cool strat. It's super satisfying to pull off.
Good pattern.
Yeah, as a 112 runner, this NKG fight is just kind of eludes me. I don't know what's going on.
Okay, clean fight.
But
It's
yeah, it went
honestly
well.
easier than the normal Grim fight, like, once you get good at it. Because there's, like, room for error.
Yeah, the balloon doing single damage is probably the greatest discovery for this category. This fight used to be so much harder, and I actually lost the world record run back in the day to Grim. Oh, I missed the early control.
May
As I was
also finishing Fire Quest, which, yeah, always good to hear. Fire Quest is such a pain. But yeah, that's the last thing. Now all that's left to do is to go kill the Hollow Knight and the Radiance. They had a Hornet maybe.
Oh, I was gonna do a fun glitch here. I forgot. You can do a cyclone as you hit the door, and the knight gets stuck in the cyclone animation for a while and spins to the side. Very funny. Unfortunately, I was busy being fast.
Why would you do that? Oops.
Okay, we see Trader Lord, which won't die as quickly without the flukes, but not too bad. The Hollow Knight also being a massive pushover when you have all of this equipment, and the Radiance by extension as well.
Oh, I don't know. I've died to Radiance. You can't disrespect it. It's easy, but if you think it's not gonna kill you, you'll find a way.
Yeah, I guess so. Radiance double damage definitely matters a lot. If you're just face tanking it. Alright, now we're at the Radiance, and
As long as I don't die, it's a PB. I'm a minute 13 ahead, so.
not too bad.
TC getting a really good, solid run, like just PBing on a marathon is crazy. May had a couple things happen here. May,
Yeah, I
What are we
lost
doing
a
right
few
here?
minutes to just like spaghetti, but
Where did we? Wait, where are we going right here? Oh yeah.
Radiance is one of those
Crop
bosses where Shriek just does so much damage, where Flukes don't really shine as well, because she's just above you all the time.
And she doesn't get multied, so yeah.
Yeah.
You just use a lot of nails and a lot of freaks, and she dies in pretty short amount of time.
We're also seeing a tech with a quick slash where if you turn around in the middle between your nails, you can nail faster, which is why he's kind of spazzing out there. It's so you can get faster nail hits with quick slash.
Oh, GG.
GG.
Oh.
That is time.
Tuning back into mainstream, some exciting content here. Opening
Yeah,
loot
if you have
boxes.
any donations, probably good time for it.
I just want to remind everybody, if you're watching this event and you want to get involved in the next one, be on the lookout for No Holidays Allowed. The event is open to all kinds of speedruns and showcases that runners have to offer, not just glitchless runs. We're looking forward to showing off some amazing speedruns to watch as you bundle up by the campfire this winter. I am looking forward to winter. I'm also looking forward to No Holidays Allowed. We still have time here?
Yeah, we got more. We
yeah.
got like a little more time.
All right, well, several members of the Complete-a-thon team also work on staff for No Glitches Allowed, which is an event that features glitchless and no major glitches speedruns. This event typically takes place in the spring. Feel free to follow us here at twitch.tv/NoGlitchesAllowed and @NoGlitches on Twitter, as well as join our Discord for announcements so you won't miss when our next Complete-a-thon event takes place.
Thank you. Yeah, now on May side we're heading to oh no!
Oh, well,
get the wall thing
there's a
happening.
major glitch.
No, no, there we go, Blossom.
No.
We got
Well,
it.
Blossom got what they asked for.
There we go, Blossom.
So Team Cherry, they tried to patch out a glitch with elevators, and in doing so, they made elevators super buggy on this patch. And if you are a little bit too close, you can clip into geometry like that. And unfortunately, it's a soft lock.
Yeah, you just had to quit out immediately.
What was the runtime, CC?
2:25:39.
Damn, that is a third, right?
Yeah, I already had third before, but it's a PB by minute 4. So that's
Not
pretty
bad.
good. Yeah, especially for
without that one death. Yeah, without that one death, it would be.
It'd be really close. Because I lost about a minute 30 in total on that Nosk split.
Yeah, that is a pretty bad death, huh?
Well, it's not only did I die super late into it, then I took a really dumb path because I thought I'd be faster for some reason in my head. I also got hit a bunch getting soul, and so then I had to go bench again. So if I'd not panicked, it would have been a lot better. I could have honestly 224'd even with that death, but overall, really good time still. A lot better than I was expecting. Pretty proud.
Getting the nail upgrade. Are we gonna kill him, May?
Probably not. I am not a nailsmith killer. I'm not a monster.
Yeah, me neither.
I
sure.
timed it. It only loses 0.8, so you know. Just saying.
Thought.
Yeah, I need that 0.8 to make up for the 0.1 I lost earlier.
Oh yeah. That is an
'Cause
interesting
that's
point.
really gonna matter.
We can make that up here in White Palace.
Yeah. I'll just get the second Shogo first try and that'll make up the difference.
Here's the more important food for thought. Has there ever been a record with a nailsmith death in it? I don't think so. Besides Purity.
No.
Probably not. I'll be the first to say
doubt
it. Alright, entering White
Did-
Palace.
Has any 112 runner ever been a Nailsmith killer?
Ooh, RNG in my speedrun.
I had
I
a
love
Patch.
gambling.
I had a bad phase, you know, once upon a time, as you can tell by the fact I timed it.
That is crazy.
I honestly thought you were gonna say, as you could tell by me being a League of Legends player.
Oh no! Why you
Oh,
gotta
on
out
live?
me?
Come on.
Yeah. Unlike Nebula, who would never play League of Legends.
Oh yeah, Nebula's never played.
Of course not.
Anyway, you can follow him on Twitch at Nebula lol, right? Or is that
No.
your SRC?
Isn't it Nebula GG?
My Twitter
Or
is
is it-
lol nebula, but I
Ah,
changed
that's
everything
it.
else.
Oh yeah, you're reformed.
We don't have to follow me. Not a
Oh,
lot
I should
goes on
check if
there.
I got 107%. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. That
I
is a
forgot. I
requirement
should do
for
that.
submitting speedruns is to see the end screen. Just an easy way for verifiers to tell, not have to scroll through literally everything. Which, a little ironic. But, you know, there's a lot of runs submitted.
Yeah, you'd think that seeing all the percents would be enough, but
Why
it
not
just
nail
it's a
it?
quick double check.
They
I
got
was wondering that too.
Awesome.
Hang on.
The saw squeeze.
Yeah,
Okay.
nice backup.
Yeah, that room can be so brutal, even for speedrunners. Like, if you don't have the equipment you're used to, that's probably one of the hardest rooms to just do.
Yeah, I've
it's
been
the least
practicing it
intuitive.
charmless, so it's a bit of a whiplash going from that to Sharp Shadow Dash Master. Like Sharp Shadow especially, because Dash Master you can just not dash as quick, but Sharp Shadow fundamentally changes how you have to do a lot of things.
Yeah, if you have Sprint Master on, it's doomed. Second try, not bad.
Sugar.
Also, I personally have not seen this section of the game before, so I'm really, really enjoying watching this right now. This is really awesome.
It's a really fun area. Even like when you practice on it,
Oh, that's
it never
what-
gets like less fun.
Okay, someone mentioned that pogo to me earlier, and I didn't realize that's what they were talking about.
That's what I said.
I don't listen to what you say,
SMH.
though.
Oh god.
I mean, I also had to just see someone do it. And that was a pretty solid balcony 3.
Pretty solid white palace overall.
Well, there is a specific incident with this room that
Oh
could be
yeah.
left unnamed.
Oh my god.
Oh no.
It's happening. You've invoked it.
The Wrath of Balcony 4. Oh no, we're
We got the
good.
jump. Oh yes, the 6 Shogo.
Oh god, what am I doing?
I don't think we're
Although-
saving
That's
time.
not a great start. I don't think we're saving time.
there, huh?
Yeah,
That's
it's
still
like-
worth. Still
Oh,
worth.
no. Yes.
Time
We're
save.
back.
Yeah,
Both
that
runners
definitely
in Shogo.
saved the 0.5.
I've never seen that right side of white palace, and I never will.
I will, and I'm not afraid to admit it. There's nothing wrong with being a little suboptimal.
So it is actually very technically possible without the Strogo. It's just frame perfect and insanely tight. And I don't think anyone has done it other than Task.
Ah, that task guy. Doing all the skits before me.
I'm so
What a
dang
nerd.
good.
That task guy
Yeah.
gets world record at like everything. That's all I get
Mm.
it. I think
Honestly,
he cheats.
only person we can get to rival Yeehoo.
Exactly.
We need a Skate King latest patch arc.
True.
He's working on it.
We need to smuggle a copy of like 1.2.1 to China and just give it to Yeehoo, and then get Skate on current patch and have them compete. Where'd my nail art go?
I'm sure you didn't need it anyway.
Yeah.
All right, we got all the blue charms. Well, not all of them actually. A couple blue charms and a couple of the health charms to up our blue health.
Yeah, it just really goes to show like every charm has a place in this game. Because like Joni's blessing is so bad, but you need it here.
Oh my god.
Yeah, what is going on with the blue charm? Would you mind explaining it?
So that door opens if you have
Oh god.
a certain amount of lifeblood, which you can get via equipping those charms. So it shines blue for 1 for every lifeblood you have, which is just a replacement for your health that you can't heal.
Yeah, so that blue blinking was the game opening the door and counting the health, and it takes so long. So while we're waiting, we go down to open up a door, and then we take damage and warp up after it finishes counting. But if you take damage too early, then you won't have enough, and when it counts, it will be short, and you have to quit out and try again. It's very sad and very slow.
Yeah, the count, it's 14, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it definitely, counting has never been scarier. You're never questioning more if you can count whether or not during that.
On older patches, it's a little bit easier because Joni's gives you more hearts, but they reduce the amount it gives you on the latest patch, so there's no room for error.
For some reason, it's not a very
Yep.
good charm.
Well, it could be a good charm. There's actually a glitch you can
Johnny's
do
Fury.
with it.
Time.
Johnny's Fury makes it good,
Yeah.
Oh god. Hello.
but most of the time it's not a good charm.
Because it gives you a little bit of HP, but then you can't ever heal. So
Yeah. It's good for like if you're about to go face tank a boss, like if you are gonna fight a boss and you know you're gonna take like 10 damage, but you're only gonna take 10 damage. It could be better than just trying to heal a bunch.
The other
Yep.
thing is, like, since it's 4 notches, it's also a charm that you can't overcharm because you'd be getting 1.4 times the health for taking double the damage, so it's pointless.
There's no
So
point
it
in
kind of is
overcharming
its
it.
own worst enemy in that regard.
And it is, yeah, it being 4 notches is really expensive on your charm notch amounts, so it's not that great, unfortunately.
well, you do get the little pink graphic, so it could be worth it.
True.
Yeah.
Alright, we're in the home stretch now. Just got some shopping and a boss to do.
What was the name of that area?
The
Birthplace.
birthplace.
Oh, so cool.
Well, it's in the abyss, but then that little subsection is birthplace.
That's
Yeah,
why I
the
thought
lore-
I cancelled your seat out.
The lore is that's where you were born, hence the name Birthplace.
This game
Thank
doesn't
you.
have lore, silly.
Thank you.
Oh,
Common
yeah.
misconception.
I can't remember the last time I saw English in this game. I don't remember what anyone says.
This morning for me.
Oh yeah,
But
true.
You can see
Randomizer
English
players.
right now. If you look at the bottom left of Sly's dialogue, you can see the word shift in English.
Oh, true.
My favorite part about Sly's dialogue is the little Sly face at the very top middle.
Yeah,
Or
the
it's
little
not even-
like
it's not
nod
even like
when
a
you buy
face, it's-
something.
Yeah, it's like a little nice little drawing of Sly. It's really awesome.
Yeah,
This
I
game
never
has-
noticed that casually, but
It's so-
all
it's
of
so
the
awesome.
merchants have their own face up there.
Mm-hmm.
This game has so much hidden detail. Like I'm still finding new stuff even with thousands of hours in the game.
Huh?
Oh.
What do we do?
Interesting.
King stations.
Yeah,
Yeah.
King Station Steel. See, Steel. Seal.
I'm normally like 150 over. Like, I think I forgot a seal somewhere.
Did you do
Um,
Stinky?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Um,
You got
yeah.
robbed. You weren't paying
Yeah.
attention to Sly. He stole Geo from you.
I've never paid
Right.
attention to Geo in this category, and I've
Yeah,
always been
normally
like
like
100
100
over.
over. So I'm
Oh,
not sure
Well, at least
what
you
I
have a
forgot.
Dreamgate.
I pay attention. I've been short before. This run, I was only 6 over.
Damn.
Really? Well, May, I
Um,
saw you get a Mantis Lord seal, but that I don't know what you would have not
Did you get the
gotten.
chest?
no,
Did
I
you
didn't get
not?
Mantis Lord's chest.
Oh, you got the seal, but not the chest, so you were
Yeah.
over on a seal. Oh, that makes
Because I did
sense.
the rando movement where you hit it through the chest through the floor.
That sounds about
Oh,
right.
wait. Did you get
Yeah.
Watcher Seal?
No.
Huh.
Well,
Well, that
no,
would have
so
saved your run.
she got every seal. She got an every seal +1, but didn't get the chest, which is why she's like
Oh.
130 short.
Yeah, if you got Watcher
Because
Seal, that would have been.
you would be like 200 short.
Yeah. Okay. I'm saying, yeah, that makes sense.
Unfortunate.
Mm,
Interesting
yeah.
run to do it on.
I mean,
Also
yeah,
just an
Geo
interesting
changes so
mistake.
much. Geo changes so much in the run. Like,
Yeah. It's just also
Especially,
been like, I normally run one thing at a time, but there's been like a rando tourney, this, and then I have like an all skills run for a marathon in like 2 months, and then I have a IGN percent for a marathon in like a month.
yeah, I went up to May and asked if she wanted to race, and it's like, oh yeah, just one more marathon. No biggie.
Yeah, after like PAX in a couple of months, I just enter hibernation for 3 months and don't touch the game. So I'm like, yeah, just make the suffering section a little worse. What's the worst that could happen?
surely keeping up with a 3-hour category isn't too bad.
Especially like when the route change happened right before ASM.
Yeah, this boss is really cool though. It's both of the Grim fights are really cool. It's unfortunate we kind of just kill him, but
It is
the boss
so.
is just sick.
This boss is so fun to fight casually. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, the
The most
music
fun
too.
boss in the game.
This fight's also super sick in 106% because you can't
Oh,
damage Grim in the balloons. So there's a complicated setup to damage them perfectly and skip a balloon.
What am I doing? I'm like playing carefully, but it also means I'm doing no damage.
The
I think I'll
duality
just
of
soul dump on the next balloon.
I believe. Especially after pillars. Get some good damage.
You should be dead.
Yeah. Nice.
he has more health in this fight than he does in the boss
Oh,
rush,
no.
which is kind of insane.
Well, they nerf it because it's a hard boss, right? And it's at the end of a pretty hard section. So I'm sure they nerfed it so
Yeah.
people could complete it.
Yeah, most bosses have
Yep.
the same health, but yeah, they did.
Same reason God Tamer is meant to be relatively easy, because at the end of Call of Duty, no one wants to just grind that.
You gotta do it for me. You gotta do helicopter. I failed.
Alright.
You gotta succeed
See
where
ya.
I couldn't.
I don't know what we're talking about, so. Whoa.
Oh my gosh.
He's
I love
gaming.
it.
My takeaway from that previous conversation is that May hibernates for 3 months.
Yeah, I do it at the start of the year as well, because there's like the fatales and a few other things at the start. So it's like 2 marathon seasons, and then I don't play the game for like 6 months of the year. Either side of them.
Typical Australian behavior.
We get to finally fight the Hollow Knight. This is, I mean, his name is the Hollow Knight. What else is there to
And
say
yet
about
you're
him?
more hollow. The false advertising night.
We're hollower knight.
The Hollow Knight at home.
Competition.
Yep.
I mean, he was trying, you know. He
Yeah,
wanted to
this
be the
boss
follower.
is kind of hard because you can fight it really early
Oh,
on with like low equipment.
So normally this attack, it could be good or bad depending on your category. In this category, it's kind of scary because you could actually overkill him and just not reach the final boss. It's kind of scary. Luckily, we got it relatively early on, so didn't have to worry about it too much. But that is
Yeah,
something to worry about.
usually you just kind of have to wait it out because if you overkill, you're losing a pretty significant chunk of time.
Infinite.
Yeah, a minute's infinite time. Yep.
In speedrunning.
Mm.
And now we kill them off.
Oh god. Oh god. We'll heal one just to be on an odd number.
Because Radiance does an even amount of damage, healing up to 6 is usually not super worth.
Huh? Hmm. Oh god. I promise I can play this game sometimes.
And
And boom.
GG.
GG's.
GG.
Okay,
GG.
but what about Path of Pain? Who's winning that one?
Oh, I am cooked.
Yeah, now
We'll
that,
be
now
lucky
that we
if I
got the
finish it
boring thing
tonight.
out of the way,
Yeah.
let's do the real show here.
The real question is, do I do pop loadout or 107 loadout?
Hmm.
Well, we don't have all the notches to do. Pop
Oh,
loadout.
true, true.
You
3,
just
5, 6, 7,
Yeah.
8, 9. Ooh.
How many notches are there? 11? Do we have 9?
Yeah.
Yeah, we have
We-
9.
we-
You could just
I might
remove
do
long nail.
Long nail marker pride.
I'm not over charming. Are you over charming?
No, but I'm gonna just take off Shaman Twister and just fight the guys at the end
Oh.
longer, just so I get long nail mop and get to attempt TSS once.
Oh, if I have to fight the King's Molds, I'm cooked. So yeah, I'm not gonna fight King's Molds.
I'll just hold F4 so we can.
No.
Quicker.
How will we know it's a 107% run?
I'll read the lore tablet that gives you world sense.
On the way out. Okay. That's a
Big
compromise. I'll start making my way over.
Making my way downtown.
Hey.
Oh,
World sense.
107.
Let's go.
Okay, interesting.
Run valid.
What?
No. Did Alt
You are
F4, not
valid.
valid.
You are valid. What's the movement back to this? I wonder.
Oh wait,
Not
opened up
optimized.
You're always
this.
wondering what the movement is, aren't you?
We have bench warp. Or well, May does. I think May will beat you there. IMO.
Hey.
Oh, you
That's
got,
I
you
had to
got
win
like
at something.
destroyed. Wow. That wasn't even close.
Oh, looking good.
Oh, I don't have that. And sharp shadow.
This better not be added to my
Actually, no,
time.
I'm just gonna do normal loadout. I know that way less awfully. And making stuff up. Alright.
With no TSS? Coward?
No TSS.
Question mark.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
No.
Is it even Path of Pain then?
Not really, yeah. Ignore that it's a little difficult.
Yeah, we're about to get into it.
Yeah, I had to get some soul, you know.
Oh yeah, that helps. How do I even get to soul from here?
The two guys.
Yeah.
All right.
Alright.
Hey, you ready?
Yep.
Someone count us off.
All right, I'm gonna count down from 3. Are you ready?
Yep.
Yep.
3, 2, 1, go.
Good luck.
This first room,
Lights, luck face.
where most Path of Pain runs die.
That looked so cool when they were synced up for the first couple jumps.
Oh, yep. Well, no longer synced.
Goodbye to the synchronization from here
oh
on
my
out.
god, goodbye to the synchronization.
The hazard respawns, super brutal. Put you all the way back at the start of most rooms. Sometimes there's checkpoints, sometimes there's not.
Oh, maze wall jumps are so good.
I'm telling you, I'm
I'll show you.
in
something.
some trouble.
What? You should be able to down dash there.
That's a classic
Alright, I'll
Path
just
of
play
Pain
it
runner.
safe.
You have to be careful not to uncling the wall.
Oh my god. It's over.
Yep.
Put me in the retirement home.
No Shogo? Sad.
Yeah, I'm gonna first time that. Yeah, for sure.
Oh my god. I am really good at this game. What was that?
Oh.
So Path of Pain runners, it's a super competitive category. It's just very, very optimized. They have started doing what we call Task R2, but just as humans, which just shows how insane some people are willing to go. They just do task strats.
Yeah, I
It's
wanted to
super
see
cool to
how
watch,
hard it
though.
was. And I got it once after like 5 hours.
And
It's,
like really good. So
Yeah, it's probably one of the hardest things in a speedrun ever in this game. And
Yeah.
people can do it consistently.
yeah, there's some really, really, really impressive Path of Pain runners in this game. Shout
There's
outs
also Thorn Skip,
WSZ and
Skip.
Diho.
which originates from Thorn Skip, where you stand on like a part of the thorn that doesn't have a hitbox.
And
in
skip
this
all
room
the stuff
here.
I just did.
Yeah. You
Oh.
pogo the saw at like max height. It's super hard. I've never actually hit it myself. I just use a Shogo on top of it, which makes it more lenient.
Oh no, no.
Oh my god. Can I like stop?
Yeah, this part of the game is. This just shows like even like these like ridiculously good runners, even they struggle with this because this is like so hard. The Path of Pain runners, if you check their attempt count on their live splits, it's like 10,000s and very
Yeah.
large. It's like 40,000. It's just very. It's a very large amount of attempts that they put into this category.
And that's not even
Graded.
counting. That's like their run. That's not even
Yeah,
counting their
it's-
practice attempts.
Yeah, like they're in their separate rooms. Yeah, like all those stuff that they just do separately.
Yeah, they have splits for just specific rooms.
Yeah, world record 155, I think.
Yeah, by Yeho, right? Or is that-
No.
Yeah, by
by
WSZ. By the
yeah,
goat.
something like that.
Or
Okay,
is it by-
now we're both at room 4, which is the last room. So it's really anyone's game.
Looks like both Yeho and WSZ have a 155. These guys are so good at this game.
Yeah, it's just like at top level, you're not gonna be more than a second ahead of world record.
Oh no.
Oh, May reaching the King's molds.
Oh yeah, I don't have
Oh.
sprint master.
Hold up. I need
Oh,
hell if I'm gonna do King's molds.
okay.
And made.
What a comeback.
From the
Let's go.
depths of the
From the
room one, the fucking
Depths
room
of
one
the
struggle.
R1
Yeah.
hell, yeah.
Yeah.
Because like
Room
you
one
practice R1 enough to do it like the good strat, like enough. But because you don't have to do it like every time you succeed, sort of thing, like there's not as much pressure, so you kind of just throw a lot. Because if you mess up once, you just reset the room. You don't have to go off the death cycle. But, oh well, I had to win something.
Let's go. Those King's molds
That is-
casually are like evil. They're
CC just, yep, just
But-
destroying those King's molds.
we use spells and they die. Casually,
That's
you don't
GG.
use spells though.
Both runners getting through Path of Pain. Nice, we did it.
I'm surprised. I thought I was gonna have to call him the towel. Room 4 was getting me.
Yeah, room 4 can be brutal, especially when you're off cycle.
Yeah, room
Yeah,
4
especially
is,
when
like,
you're bad.
rough. And it's also just like the least fun in my opinion because it doesn't have the same like
Skill expression.
depth. Yeah, in the same way that vertical movement does, which CC mentioned earlier. That like rooms 1 and 3 are just like a lot cooler to me just because of the vertical movement.
Alright, GG's.
Yeah.
GG's.
And that
GG.
should
Thank
wrap
you
it up.
so much. Yeah, for that incredible showcase that everybody donated for the Path of Pain. Thank you so much, everyone, for donating for that. Ugh, I can't even imagine. I'm glad I just got to watch.
Yeah, thanks. It was a blast. Had a lot of fun.
Y'all have some shout outs you want to do?
I mean, since we said Path of Pain, shouts to Z Viper. That is one of the best players that has ever seen this game. really good player.
Shout outs to CC for inviting me on, even if it was just to beat me. Shout outs to
Hey.
Nebula and Sly for coming on with comms, and Nebula for helping with a bunch of the reroute, like resource making and comsub updating, because oh my god, it's so much work, and I would not have done it anywhere near as quickly if he wasn't there to carry that. So
Yeah.
cheers for that.
Nebula's the goat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of put my head down and grinded a lot of those out. But for like the route itself, CC, and I'm not sure who else contributed, but yeah. For the route itself, I'm not a thinker. I play. Always
There's
fun.
been a ton of minds working on the route for years now. So it's hard to shout out everyone at this point.
Yeah, exactly.
Shout outs to 107 runners TM.
Yeah,
But
shout out
if
to
you
the
wanna-
whole Hollow Knight community.
Yeah.
Exactly.
If you want to run this game, there are much easier, much shorter categories you can do starting out. There is a lot of resources. Yeah, it's a pretty good speed game.
What?
It was my first one, so if you're looking to get into speedrunning, it's very doable.
But also, if 107 does interest you, there's a lot of safe strats, and it's the only hard part is like getting into it. Mostly is the length. So if you can get past that, there's a lot of great resources and a lot of great places to get started. So
Yeah, just join the Discord on it's actually on the SRC, the HKSR Discord. Yeah.
Yep.
A lot of good resources there.
Cool. All right. Yeah, that's about it from me.
mhm.
Awesome. Well, huge thanks to both of our runners, CC and May, and also to our commentators, Nebula and Sly. And that was the very last run of Complete-a-thon 2024. I hope y'all will stick around because we have the finale coming up next.
Wahoo!
Woo!
Yay.
Yeah.
Yeah.